Oi, oi, dickheads! I'm the CEO of Antifa, and joining me for this happy hour nonsense is Employee of the Month over at Antifa Super Soldier Terrorism's HQ. It's Dr. Kristi Winters.
Hello, Kevin. It is a hello from the worst person in the world. Slash
Indeed,
Antifa
indeed,
super,
but the
super
best
soldier.
the best Antifa Super Soldier Terrorisms.
Yes, I'm the
So,
best and the worst.
which yeah, you might think that's a tautology, to which I would say, shut the fuck up, dickheads. Anyway, so how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I guess. Again, there's like my life and then there's the reality of and these are sometimes disconnected. So within my daily life, everything is fine. But there are many things that concern me about what is going on in the world. And how about you, Kevin?
Well, I'm sensationally well. Yeah, that's the kind of the beauty of being white, I suppose.
Yeah,
Like
true.
it sounds awful, but it's
No.
basically correct. You know it's true,
Yeah,
so whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be talking about. There's been more statue pull downery. That's a phrase. That's a
correct.
real word. I'm a big boy. Yeah, there's loads of that shit going down. Trust me, we'll get to it. We'll try and remember. That's why I call it 10-pin bowling, because they're just pins falling fucking everywhere. It's a nightmare to try and keep track of.
True. It's
But
actually lovely to
in,
keep track of.
inject it straight into my fucking bloodstream now. I want it all.
Yeah.
Um, yes. So, yeah. So I suppose I'll start with my bookmarks. Shall I?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we
Okay.
decided that because otherwise I preempt you with too many things, and mine go on forever. So
Oh, see now I regret having mentioned that last time now, because now you're all like self-conscious about it.
you were about to lose
I
your
just thought, well,
job.
this could go on forever.
You were
Yeah.
about to lose your job. Get this dance. Sorry, I've been listening to that all afternoon.
Yeah, that was actually a really inspirational story. I just thought it was a funny little thing. But
Mm-hmm.
apparently she really turned her life around after that and was
Yeah.
like,
Well, I've got a
okay,
couple references to it because it sort of caught on as well, but we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got plenty of shit. I mean, by the way, I don't know if I've actually bookmarked it, but we finished off last time with these dickheads trying to fish it out, trying to fish out
Yes.
the slave trader statue.
Yes.
They did a bit. The council actually did get it out in the end, because
Okay.
apparently that part of the thing is still like part of the active harbour,
All right. So boats and
potentially
ships
a
use
danger
it.
to shipping.
Yeah.
So they dragged it out. Yeah,
All right. I'm gonna put
yeah,
the
and
chat
they
up.
washed, but beautifully they did. It was quite. Yeah, please do. Um, it's quite a sort of semi woke reaction the council had, because they said we washed the mud off, because obviously it was caked in mud. It's the bottom of a big fuck off river.
Yeah.
Well, big river by British standards. Give us a rest, right? Um, yeah, so they washed the mud off, but they didn't wash off the paint. They said that was now a part of history, which was quite nice. Which is true. It's a
Yeah.
thing that
Yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't history whilst he was alive, and then his statues, that's history, and now the people painted on him anyway.
Yeah.
So, but they're going to keep it in private storage. Well, publicly paid for, but like private, as in away from the madding crowd, until they decide what to do with it. So basically, they're hoping it just sort of goes away, I think, which
Yeah.
is quite nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
by the way,
that's
finish your story and
that's
then I've
probably
got.
the best way forward, really.
Yeah, I have a little PSA as
You go
well
for
on.
it.
Okay, so I read this. I think I have it bookmarked, but I also have a lot of bookmarks, so I can't remember all of them. But somebody who like works with statues and metals or something was saying, I know that people were putting paint on these various statues, and it's actually quite easy to clean paint off of them. So what she was saying was, what you wouldn't want to do is put a kind of a chemical on it that would cause the actual metal to break down. Like, for instance, if you were to dump a can of tomatoes on the statue of a slaver, that actually, if it stays on there for like an hour or two, will start to degrade the metal. And unlike paint, which can get cleaned off, this actually starts a chemical process that doesn't stop. So the most they can do is to try to slow down the deterioration of the metal. So definitely, if you see a slaver statue, don't put tinned tomatoes or chopped tomato juice or anything tomato based on that, because you might end up ruining it forever. Just a little PSA.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. It would be terrible if we started some sort of chop tomatoes for Robert E. Lee campaign. Do
Correct.
you know what I mean? Like, that would be terrible. Don't do that.
Sort of like, yeah,
Anyway.
like if you were to say, like you could have tomato juice and ketchup and stuff as sort of symbolic of blood, you have to say, no, that's actually going to do serious long-term damage. So just think about it if you're going to use those
Well,
kinds of,
exactly, yeah.
dangerous concrete milkshake type product.
Well, exactly. You wouldn't want Robert E. Lee dropping his beans all over the place. That would be
No.
a dreadful outfit.
Beans and tin.
Yeah. So don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
do that, because these are parts of history, and you're
Stewed
basically just like the
tomatoes.
Taliban.
Yeah. Ketchup, stewed tomatoes, chopped, tomato juice, anything, nothing like that. Okay, just, yeah.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Little
Don't
PSA.
do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So James Lindsay, piece of garbage, tweets out, and this is amazing. Twitter currently does not consider racism directed towards white people as abusive tweets, classifying them as satire if reported.
Yeah.
Imagine how different things would be if all racism was considered racism.
What?
And I quite like this person's delightfully sarcastic retort to that. I too have a dream.
You know what I say to that? Sit down, Cracker. Sit your cracker ass down, Cracker.
Indeed.
Like, seriously.
White people girlfriend.
White people who complain about what, mayo, Karen, cracker, hunk. Seriously, I mean, come on. Like, if you're that much of
a how great is your life if the worst oppression you face is being called Karen? Yeah. Like, you're not doing too bad. Chill the fuck out of it. Yeah. Anyway, this cunt, a councillor, so basically a local elected politician, in the city of Bristol, where the aforementioned, now not under the water but still not on public display, slave statue was, said that Edward Colston, the man who's the head of that, or the figure of that statue, was a hero.
What? Honestly?
Now you think to yourself, it would be terrible if this guy had like a repeated history of racism that would show him off to be an awful person, and therefore calling him a hero actually would be terrible. Oh, there he is with a gollywog. Literally just him there,
Bristol,
smiling with a gollywog.
Bristol, yeah. Come on, get your shit together there, people. Seriously.
Yeah.
That is a fucking disgrace.
Yep.
I mean, we've got it on our side of the pond too. I'm just saying, hold yourself to better standards. Yeah. Vote that fucker out.
Exactly. You can do better. You made a good start with the whole statue in the water, but come on now, this is ridiculous. Anyway. This is the same guy again. In 2001, he resigned as the deputy leader of the Conservative group at City Hall, where the council sits, obviously, after he began to use a gollywog doll as a mascot, and then got into hot water soon after, when he said the council should hire, quote, more attractive lesbians, unquote.
I can't believe this guy holds office anywhere. Anywhere.
Yeah, just again, I like to point out, as bad as America is, and it fucking is, the British attitude of snobbery, as if we're so much better, is really unfounded. Really, really unfounded.
Yeah.
When we've got Boris Johnson as Prime Minister, I don't think we've really got a leg to stand on.
I think there is, where white supremacy exists in a culture, there is also a social norm that indoctrinates children from the beginning how to disassociate themselves from racism and white supremacy, unless they're in an openly racist house. And that means that they don't actually confront it or acknowledge it, and they never try to work to undermine it. So this whole thing of we're not that racist, it's the whole, what was that dumb actor's name again? That idiot James or something?
Lawrence Fox.
Lawrence Fox, yes, Fox. Like we're the least racist country in Europe. Get the fuck out with that shit. That's a lie. That's a lie that white supremacy in a culture tells white people to stop them from actually doing anything about white supremacy. And then we feed it to our kids.
When you've got Gollywog Councillor as the deputy leader of the Conservative group in a major fucking city in the country, and Boris grinning pickaninnies with watermelon smiles as fucking Prime Minister. Yeah, sharp. Like, literally sharp. Now, I'm not saying that British people can't, because I mean, I intend during the course of today's episode to criticise America significantly, but don't pretend like Britain's so much better. It really isn't that much better. It's just we don't have the religious right. That's our one saving grace, frankly. Anyway, continuing on. Talking of American cunts, A man charged with intentionally driving his car into a group of protesters in Richmond, Virginia, has been identified as the head of the Virginia Ku Klux Klan.
Look at that, another violent white supremacist trying to kill people.
Who were the terrorists again?
Oh, it's
Who
the
were
white
they?
guys who are reactionary.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to agree with this one. I'm not okay with dinosaur erotica being a thing.
Where is that from? Is that from Amazon?
It's, self-published on Amazon by a weirdo.
Oh, these are
Sorry,
books.
Cherry Sims and Alara Brandwin. You're weird. That's a strange thing to do.
Is that how is that any like? What's your position on tentacle porn then?
Weird. Just weird. Look, not necessarily evil or anything. Look, if you get your rocks off to T-Rexes, fine. Like, no one's being harmed by that, but it's weird. Like,
Okay.
I am going to kink shame that.
All
I just
right.
am. It's happened. Deal with it.
All right, Kevin
Moving
taking a
on.
bold stance, pissing off the dinosaur erotica crowd. You're gonna get canceled.
Exactly. Well, they're one of my biggest demographics as well, so I'm shooting myself in the foot, really. James O'Brien, fantastic.
They're gonna be flooding your mentions and converting you over. I'm telling you, you're just gonna start getting flooded with dino porn, dino erotica.
Oh, don't, because people will start doing that. You tempt fate that way, and someone does. There's still that weird guy who contacts me regularly about wanting to ask me to fuck Polish men. It's really strange. He's got this thing about Polish men being really exotic. Apparently, he's not gay or Polish. He just wants me to have sex with Polish men.
Why don't you block him? Or are you just entertained?
He's been following me for about fucking 4 years on Twitter. No, it's funny. It's so funny. He's so persistent. Like, he'll leave me alone. He'll leave me alone for like 2 months and then spend an entire week tweeting at me to fuck Polish men and then leave me alone again and then pop back up sporadically. It's so fun. Anyway. So, and by the way, Polish men are not that exotic. They're really not.
You can speak from experience.
I'm not saying they're not spicy in bed. I don't know. I haven't taken him up on his little plan, but they're not. I've met lots of Polish men. They're pretty boring. they're fine. They're just boring. Anyway,
you don't know what they're like in bed, though.
I don't. Maybe they're hung like acorns. I don't know.
Maybe.
Kristi. I don't know.
That's a little private joke between us.
A little private joke there. Little private joke. Anyway. James O'Brien, fantastic journalist and radio presenter, broadcaster chap. Quite funny lad as well. He says, I don't want to speak too soon, but leaving the European Union doesn't seem to have made the racists any happier.
Yep.
It's true.
I also saw the British government wanted to offer 3 million visas to Hong Kong residents. Or Hong Kong citizens.
Are there even 3 million Hong Kongers in the world? Like, in Hong Kong mostly, but
you got out of the European Union so that you could have 3 million people from Hong Kong emigrate as political refugees. Great.
I tried to warn the racists. I said, look, the immigrant numbers aren't going to go down. Yep. It's just you don't like brown people, but there are going to be more brown people if you leave than if you stay, because the immigrants at the minute are coming, or have been coming from Poland, let's say, Romania, majority white nations.
Bulgaria.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or at the very least, white passing. I don't want to get into that fucking discussion again. But certainly very pasty skinned. You could walk past them and mistake them for one of your own.
Right.
Racists. Anyway, whereas now the Indian government, we're gonna need a free trade agreement with India. It's one of the booming economies of the world. It's going to surpass us 1 million times over within our lifetimes, I'm sure. They definitely, in the long run, they won that little jewel. We fucked them over for centuries, but they're ahead of us now. We're going to need a free trade agreement, and they've already said before we even entered a negotiation into it, they want a vast increase in the number of student visas for Indians.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them.
And work visas, because a huge number of Indian people, a huge part of the Indian economy in certain rural areas is educated people from those rural poor areas coming to Britain, earning money and sending back some of that money. Mm-hmm. It's a huge part of, some of those very poor rural economies. And they want, India wants to gain an advantage in any way they can. That's the way, competition works. And so you're going to get millions and millions more Indians.
Yeah, it's a supply and demand issue.
Well done, racists.
Yeah.
Look, I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that. I don't give a fuck where you're from. The point is, they do, and they fuck themselves because they're stupid. Anyway.
Good. I mean, India's got a lot to offer in terms of demand that British manufacturing and everyone else wants, and they've got needs too. So they are entitled to negotiate.
And we've got no doctors. We don't make doctors here. We just
That is the
import them
case.
from India.
It really
Yeah.
is. I don't know of any colleges of nursing. Whereas, like, my college or my university, because it had, if you issue at master's degrees, you're a university. If you don't, you're a college. I think in the States, that's how it works. But we had a nursing program. Like, there was a couple different universities in Wisconsin that had dedicated nursing 4-year programs. I just don't, I'm not familiar with any nursing programs on any British campuses.
Well, there is the Royal College of Nursing, for instance, but there's what was previously the case that made it financially viable for people to go into that profession, the nursing bursary, has been scrapped by the Tories. So the already parlous state of our own quote unquote indigenous healthcare professionals is been destroyed even worse. It's just annihilated. We don't create any healthcare professionals now.
Yeah, I mean, no, we had like at least 3 universities that had nursing programs for a state of 5 million people.
There are not 5 million people
in Wisconsin.
You
5.5
counting
now.
scarecrows. Come on now.
It's more deer, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, it is astounding to me that there aren't more opportunities for people to go into healthcare, and track that way and to develop those resources internally. But anyway, we're kind of off of the bookmarks now. So
yeah. So you remember there was the Churchill statue that was spray painted, causing absolute outrage. Well, the Tory MPs decided to grandstand and do a photo op in front of it after it had been cleaned. And I thought my reply to this was quite funny. These guys look like they're about to drop the worst album of 2020.
Yeah, and do you know who they had clean off the paint?
Yeah, preempting.
I
managed to I put this up and specifically bookmarked it just before the next tweet because I managed to actually get a thematic two fucking tweets in a row thematic.
Well, then I'm just setting you up.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, there's a serious point to that because they wanted their photo up. And by the way, that's the one there. It was pointed out to me. Someone said that's actually a Labour MP, but he's not doing the guarding of the statue bollocks. He's actually being interviewed. There's another camera person.
Okay. He's not part of it then.
No. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. And someone said this person, I don't know who this one is, but they said they look like the love child of Donald Trump and Mark Francois, which is sort of true.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. You have to know who Mark Francois is. Don't bother looking it up. Just look up a slice of gammon. It's fine. Anyway, but there's a serious point to it. They got a black man to scrub the actual thing clean to do the manual labour, and these cunts to come along and try to take the credit for it. Pretty shameful.
Well, it's so typical. This is how white supremacy works. Yeah. They go and claim the work of a black person. They ride on the credit of somebody else's work who doesn't get, who does the work, and then they're like, "Ooh, look at us, aren't we great?"
But it's even worse, the fact that it's a Churchill statue as well. So a black man who Hitler, yeah, fuck it, Hitler would have despised as well. But Churchill was very racist towards. He didn't like anyone who wasn't very white. Having to clean that, probably for minimum wage, I dare say. And then these rich white cunts come along and pretend like they're doing it.
Yep.
Look, it's just all manner of symbolically fucked up.
Yeah, it's symbolically typical.
Yeah, indeed so. I quite like this one. Can we all collectively agree to piss off Republicans and make all countries matter trend on July the 4th? I think that works. Yeah.
That is good. Yeah.
That is. And I intend to, along with my usual Happy Treason Day America nonsense, which I try out every year and gets 2 responses. One, bored kind of resignation from people who know me, and anger from right-wingers who don't know me. So, good stuff.
Best of both worlds.
This was interesting. 4 neo-Nazis were jailed for being a part of a terrorist organisation by the phrase Miss Hitler beauty pageant entrant.
Yep.
Which really annoyed me because she took my place in that pageant. I was furious.
Did you turn your ankle?
No. I turned up there, right? I got my dress picked out, everything was perfect. And they said, "Excuse me, the toothbrush moustache is not becoming of a lady." And I said, excuse me, it's called Miss Hitler. And they said, you have fundamentally misunderstood what we meant by that turn of phrase. That's ridiculous. Get out. I was crestfallen.
And then you
But these
gave...
cunts are in jail, so that's good.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Bye.
Indeed. What's this one? Oh, yes. Sarah Vine, who's married to old fucking pub. What's his name?
What?
The Scottish man.
Okay, this is narrowing it down. Is he?
Michael? Oh, anyway, he's the fucking minister for cuntery. I don't know. Anyway, she wrote this bollocks about toppling the past its danger statue of this guy Robert Milligan, who was another slaver, and he had a statue on the docks in London. It was removed.
Good.
And she was furious, absolutely furious. And Michael? Someone in the chat will know. Check the chat, Kristi. They'll be screaming his name, I'm sure.
Gove?
Michael Gove. There we
really?
go.
Michael Gove? I was going to like... Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. And that's that. Another one. Boom,
but just can I just go back to that for a second?
Another cunt bites the dust.
Just on that. I mean, whenever you kind of confront slavery, it really does drop the mask of a lot of white people who are really caught up with defending white supremacy. And I just don't understand how anyone can claim to live in a free and democratic society and not understand why to other citizens and also people from all over the world who come to your city and you see you're celebrating someone who engaged in something that today we recognize as criminal and immoral and a violation of human rights. So what image are you giving the world by celebrating the fact that you enslaved other people or profited from that? I just don't understand like where this comes from. That to erase our history makes me feel fear for our future. What does she think people feel when they see a British people or a British town celebrating a slaver? Do you think that makes them fear for their future and their safety? Not theoretically, not like in a sad, oh, that's a thing I thought about for 5 seconds, now I'm going to get on with my life, but day-to-day microaggressions and racial harassment and police brutality. Surely that is far more relevant as a fear that can be produced by having a bunch of racist slaver statues in your communities, I would think.
Yeah. And not just any old town, because that's the centre of London.
Yep.
As this is the reason I fucking pointed out, because she's going on about history being erased. Literally pictured behind this image here, if you'll come back up for a second, the building behind there is the Victoria and Albert Museum, where they literally have an exhibit on Czech's notes slavery. So if you want to learn about slavery, there's a museum literally in the fucking picture that has an exhibit on slavery.
Go.
That statue tells you nothing about slavery other than the name of one person who owned lots of slaves or traded them, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, I'm going to do my silly intro bit again. Boom, boom.
Okay.
Another cunt bites the dust. Statue of Christopher Columbus in Bird Park, which is a place in America, has been removed by protesters and dragged into the lake. This developing story. Is it? It seems like an over story at this point. He's in the fucking lake. That's the conclusion of the story, frankly.
Honestly, fuck
but someone
Columbus.
pointed out he didn't know he wasn't. Look, well, absolutely, but also, was he pushed in there, or did he just discover the lake bed? I don't know.
He went to the lake bed and he claimed it for Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Enslaved all the fucking goldfish.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you go in there now. There's not a single fish left alive. Genocide.
Yeah.
That's a genocide joke about fish.
A fish.
That's the level we're at, people. 2020 is a fucking strange place. Yeah, I'm at. Yeah, Kristi's a respectable human being with like standards and shit. I don't fuck with that noise. Anyway, my dog took a long walk tonight, and I can report that Jared and Ivanka's next door neighbour has a Biden 2020 sign prominently displayed on the front of their house.
Nice.
That's just a nice little thing.
Good.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but symbolically funny
Yes.
at the very least.
Yes.
And I would suspect that the fact that Jared Kushner has been constantly called out by Trump all the time, do you reckon he might vote against him so he doesn't have to work with the cunt anymore? Fucking hell.
Maybe.
Anyway, a completely change of pace again. We're a roller coaster, people. To clarify, this is the work of Winston Churchill.
Yep.
These emaciated people were starved to death directly because of the actions of Winston Churchill.
Why don't you put that up on a statue?
He was told constantly, exactly. If you want to learn about history, learn about these people. These figures you see here, I won't enlarge it. It's grotesque. But these are all human beings, emaciated corpses in West Bengal, where about 4 million people were starved to death. He was told specifically about the starvation, and rather than helping, he actually wrote in the on one of the many occasions he was told about this, the memorandum. He wrote in the column next to it, "Why couldn't Gandhi have been one of the ones to starve?"
Oh fuck! Piece of shit.
Yeah, I think he got lightly away with just scrawling "was a racist" on the statue. I'm just going to say that. Yes, 2 pages, front pages from the Daily Mail. You've already seen this one. This one, "Lawless and Reckless." That was about the slaver statue in Bristol being pushed into the harbour. So it turns out it doesn't matter how they're taken down; they just want their statues of slave traders.
Yeah.
Very similar to, it doesn't matter how black people protest, whether it's violent, whether it's peaceful, whether it's loud, whether it's quiet. They're going to criticise them regardless, because it's not about the thing; it's about control and power and white dominance.
I'm gonna honestly say that I think for
Krista?
Yeah, I'm still here. You can hear me, right? Kev?
Yeah, sorry, there's just a terrible lag, so I don't know if there's
right.
if you necessarily, like, you've got nothing to say, or you've
I
just
was waiting for you
fallen
to
off
finish.
the line or whatever.
No, I was waiting for you to finish. But it does occur, I would imagine that most fair-minded people who aren't predisposed to racism, but people who actually, like, of white people who think they're trying to be good people, when they learn a statue of somebody who was in the slave trade is taken down, I can't imagine there's going to be a huge backlash to that. There will be in some quarters, obviously, but I think if you take the average person on the street and say there was a statue of a guy who owned slaves and made all his money from slavery, and people took it down, are you upset? Most people would say, well, no.
Well, exactly. Well, here in Britain, the one in Bristol was slightly different because it wasn't done like the proper route. And Britain is a fucking weird place. Like, we queue up for stuff. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, the rest of the world doesn't quite seem to get how officious we are in a number of ways. So the fact that it was taken down kind of illegitimately, so to speak, quote unquote illegitimately, and thrown into the lake, thrown into the harbour, they didn't like that element of it. But this one here, which was taken down just by the Mayor of London's office, that no one cared, because, like you say, does anyone give a shit about this slave cunt? No, they don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that's the thing. This is just a general reminder. Not yet stopped being embarrassed by Boris Johnson. Every time you see him, you're reminded what an embarrassment it is that this man is the Prime Minister. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some video of him looking ridiculous on my tweets.
Yeah. Indeed. This one was horrible.
Really sad.
Ohio protester dies 2 days after exposure to tear gas and pepper spray. This is why tear gas is banned in war. Yeah.
Yep.
I do hope her family gets some justice, although I won't be holding my breath on that, because that's, so many fucked up shit things in the world. Anyway, this was heartening.
Yeah.
Because there's been, obviously, with a lot of violence and stuff, it's often that moderates will maybe turn against movements and stuff. But this is a opinion poll of voters' net support for Black Lives Matter. As you can see, 2018, it was in the negative, and that's through 2019, and then up till very recently, and it's shot through the roof. That's enormously positive.
Yeah, really,
it shows that this is actually, I'm not going to big myself up too much, but the thing I noted in the last episode about if Mitt Romney feels comfortable in going on a BLM march, like maybe it's crossed a cultural line where a lot of people who might not necessarily seem like in the right place are prepared to support that kind of movement, which makes the demands for political reform and police reform and stuff actually politically actionable in the near future. If you have a president who won't veto them, which hopefully you will in a few months.
Yeah. Well, if you remember back to the last show, we looked at the study of where the protests were taking place, and we compared it to two different other examples, one being the Women's March, which was large, but wasn't as spread out across the United States as these have been, and also then in the 1960s, when the last time there was a big sort of civil rights organized movement. And those, in that time period, it mostly took place in urban places and college campuses. So yeah, we're just seeing that this is permeating through not only just like the country as a whole, but white America. Like white America's, it's been building up, and I think that this last incident, because it was just, it was 8 minutes and 42 seconds, and I think that really kind of drew people's attention to more than just one incident. And we've seen it now so many times, and then cops who don't get prosecuted. So white people are kind of finally catching on. As someone in my bookmark says, it's nice to see that we're finally nipping this Confederacy thing in the bud in 2020.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, what's 160 years between friends?
Right.
Or 150, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, we'll get to it. But talking of Confederacy and madness, this is still my favourite statue in the world. It's mental. When I say favourite, I mean like funniest to look at, not best or anything. Someone says, "I'm laughing hard. Can we please keep this one?" And that's Nathan Bedford Forrest, who, by the way, was the first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And look at that face.
He looks like a demon.
I'll bigger that. It looked as if, I can't believe they commissioned this. This arrived and they went, "Well, we've got to put it up now. We paid for it." Look at that! Look at that fucking monstrosity!
Just put horns on him.
It's like a 60s Doctor Who monster or something. It's ridiculous.
Put ketchup all over his head. Oh, wait.
No, don't, because that's a work of surreal art.
It is quite surreal, I have to say.
Needs to survive. That needs to survive.
It belongs in a museum.
In like fucking some sort of P.T. Barnum fucking World of Weirdness museum or something. I don't know. Anyway. So that was just it's got a gold horse as well. Just so unnecessary.
Yes.
Anyway, right. So again, completely changing directions. It's a roller coaster, people. It's not a roller coaster. It's repeatedly falling off cliffs. Anyway, Keir Starmer, who's the guy who took over from Jeremy Corbyn, in case anyone was wondering. Asking Boris Johnson to take responsibility on schools is fair, but unrealistic. Boris Johnson doesn't even take responsibility for his own kids. It's a stretch.
Ooh, the shade of it all.
That is a quality snap. Right there.
It is.
Take Boris Johnson back to hospital, but this time to the burns unit. Boom. Anyway. Former government advisor, Professor Neil Ferguson, this is horrific, has just told the House of Commons Science Committee, quote, "Had we introduced lockdown measures a week earlier, we would have reduced the final death toll by at least half," unquote. So that's about 20,000-ish people who would be alive who are now dead, even though we were given months of notice.
Yep.
Months. Moving on to who the fuck is surprised by this news. Ex-judge appointed to review Michael Flynn case says Justice Department request to dismiss charges is, quote, abuse of power, unquote. No shit.
Yep.
No shit.
In other news, 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But thankfully they are actually saying it. It shouldn't need to be said. It should never have happened in the first place. But there we go. Genuine historical quote here. Once a statue is built, it can never be removed, or you're Hitler. George Orwell, The Animal Farm, 1984. I've read that book. Definitely in there. Ba-ba-dum, boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust. Statue in Christopher Columbus in the slightly racist city of Boston So not necessarily like a place where that would necessarily happen, but beheaded, nice. Not don't topple the whole thing.
No.
They've gone slightly minimalist in the approach, but I like it nonetheless. They took his fucking head off.
I think they should put a traffic cone up there in its place for right now.
Or a slightly leaky jar of tomatoes.
Yeah, that looks like marble, though. Maybe it's not. That doesn't look like metal.
I don't know. I don't know, Kristi. It's a joke. It's a callback joke. Give me a fucking break.
Sorry, I was looking at it going, I don't think the chemistry would work in that case.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, just take. Basically, my whole point is take all of them down anyway. But if we're going to do comedy about it, fuck it. And there we go. Ba-ba-dum, boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust. Another Christopher Columbus. How many fucking Christopher Columbuses are there? Columbusi, the plural. This time in Minnesota, the state capitol building. I mean, this genocidal lunatic, who, by the way, literally was the first person to do transatlantic slavery. Literally the first person. He inaugurated the Middle Passage.
Yeah, when they landed and they encountered the native peoples, the comment he made in his journal is that they would make good slaves.
Yeah. And not just that, but what shows the nonsense of the civilization of Europe and the barbarism of the Carib people, the Taino people who on the island Hispaniola, was the fact that when they first landed, they were treated enormously respectfully. Mm-hmm. They were treated very generously. They would give food to these new white people that had arrived. They'd never seen white people, but they knew that they were people and treated them as such. And he wiped them out.
Yeah.
He killed them all. He enslaved them all. Just abysmal.
So
and
why
yet
do we
he's celebrated throughout the Americas to the point where there's even a fucking country named after him. Like, come on now. This is just not acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, the United States.
But it's nice to see the Native American
Day.
people. Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, but it's good to see the Native American folk dragging his fucking effigy. But again, as this person points out, no, he just discovered the ground.
Yeah, so, he claimed it for Spain.
Now, you might say there are people already on that ground, to which I'd say, why do you hate white people? See how stupid you are, white people? Do you see? I too have a dream. Ba-ba-dum, boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust. In Richmond, Virginia this time, a statue of Jefferson Davis, the one and only, very short-lived president of the Confederate States of America and all-time loser of American civil wars. Absolute shame. What a noob. His statue was ripped down and is now sitting 20 feet away in the street. They've collected it since, but I just like that image of this fucking prick who should never have been given a statue. One of the ultimate traitors in American history.
Yes.
Was responsible for the slaughter of hundreds of thousands of American lives. And of course, the invasion of sovereign American territory by a self-proclaimedly foreign army. And yet he had a statue. Well, presumably he's got several statues, but certainly one in Virginia. And it was ripped down. And apparently it's not going to be put back up. So that's good.
Great. Yeah, I checked in my fucks bag, and I have 0 fucks left. I don't care at all about these statues. Don't care.
Although you'll notice, I just noticed, they're clearly ahead of you on the traffic cone situation.
Yes. They got it ready.
I don't know if they put that on him eventually, but it's there. Yeah.
That's where it belongs.
This is quite, indeed. Yeah. I found the erased history you're all talking about. This is a grave of William Wilberforce. Not very well maintained, you might notice, by people who apparently are anti-slavery. He was and again, fair to attribute this, the Conservative Member of Parliament who consistently brought the Slave Trade Act before Parliament, eventually passing it in 1807, hence the Slave Trade Act of 1807. So basically the man who legally ended slavery in Britain.
Yeah. Wow.
And his grave is not very well maintained, almost as if people aren't actually interested in the history of slavery at all. They just want to celebrate white supremacy.
Yeah, excellent point. Yeah, where is the statue to this guy?
Yeah, exactly. They don't even maintain his gravestone.
Nope.
Look at that. Just covered in shit. I don't really care so much. He's a long dead man. His relatives probably don't know where the fuck he's buried. That's what happens. It happened to us all. But
Yes.
don't pretend you care about history if this is the way you fucking go with it.
Yeah, but if we're going to
Idiot.
remember, if you want to remember how you made progress, you have to remember the people who stood up and all the times that they fell down and fell down and fell down before they finally succeeded. Because progress doesn't come easily, ever, even when it's the most basic of human rights.
Yeah, because Wilberforce, fair play to him, I think he had to bring it 10 years in a row, almost 10 or 11 years, every year, a private member's bill, and he got knocked down year after year, and he came so close on 2 or 3 occasions, and eventually it did pass.
Yep.
So he gave a shit, clearly. He was a conservative of the Victorian era, or technically pre-Victorian, whatever. So he's probably not a nice man in a number of ways, but he did an amazing thing which helped humanity in some small way. So,
and broke Britain from
anyway.
the slave trade.
Indeed, and we were very in the slave trade, so it was probably a good thing all around that we got out of that. Right. Here we are. Right. So Professor Kate Williams says, people writing that the university should fire me. I brought this person up last time. She had the amazing thread on the history of these racist statue in Bristol and all the rest of it. People writing that the university should fire me because I said Nigel Farage was a disgrace for comparing Black Lives Matter, a movement of peace and justice, to the Taliban. I think he actually did.
Because he is.
Yeah.
He's a disgrace.
Yeah. And because I said the statue of a slave trader belonged in the sea, thanks, guys. We'll let the Vice-Chancellor know. And the University of Reading, on their official who are her employer, said, good morning to everyone, except people who think you can make our academics and researchers change their expert opinion about something by complaining to us on Twitter. Kissy emoji.
Yep. Fuck off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Karen. Fuck off, Karen.
So the same people who are going about academic freedom and all the rest of it, oh, but you've said a thing I don't like, I'm going to try and get you fired. Oh, fuck you, man. Anyway. What even are cats? Like, what?
What poses?
What is that? What is that?
That is adorable.
That is amazing. Look at that. That's
cat ballet.
I don't even know what shape. I don't know what shape that is.
I think it's the Y in YMCA, or maybe it's the C.
Or it's a diver mid 360 pike with tuck.
If cats liked water,
what that is.
Maybe.
Yeah, which they don't mostly.
They do air diving.
There's the one that swims
on the bed.
Yeah, some people were like, "Oh, these are some fantastic statues from around the world." That's a statue of Colombo for no reason in Budapest.
Why? Why is that a thing?
Why is that a thing? I mean, I love it. I think it's fucking crazy, but why? Why is that a thing?
Yes.
I mean, the people of Hungary are delightful. Anyway. Philomena Kunk knocking it out of the park as usual.
So funny.
If you take down monuments to evildoers, people will forget the dark parts of history, which is why no one knows who Hitler was.
Yes.
Absolutely true. NASCAR. Oh, we'll get into the actual NASCAR thing in a second. But they're taking down the they're not going to allow you to have the Confederate flag, which again is good because that's a treasonous army's flag. You know, don't do that. If you went there with an ISIS flag, people might not react quite the same way, but they should. Anyway, NASCAR truck racer Ray Cicciarelli, apologies, says he's quitting after Confederate flag ban. And someone says, surrender is in keeping with the spirit of the Confederacy.
So good. That's so good.
Very true.
Yep.
Very true. Another one, a statue of Tony Soprano in Lithuania.
Eh? Oh, what color are his shorts? Why is he?
I believe that's his boxer shorts. There's a famous bit where he's just woken up and he gets out of bed and he's in his boxer shorts. So that's just Tony Soprano with hobbit feet for some reason in Lithuania.
Okay.
All
right. That's a thing. That's the thing in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't know about.
I'm all for replacing slave statues with Colombo Tony Soprano, probably not so much, but I mean, by comparison, he was way less evil, I suppose. But it would be an upgrade of this again. We're going fucking crazy up and down again. Just maybe an attempted assassination. on a American political figure. This person called Cory Bush, who is an elected official or trying to become an elected official, if I recall. Candidate for Congress for Missouri's 1st District and a Ferguson activist.
Oh, right. Okay.
Her car was shot at.
God. Fucking white supremacy.
But thankfully, it just burst her tire and hit the car and pinged off. Which is, I mean, that's a good car build to avoid assassinations, but that shouldn't be a consideration.
No, you shouldn't have to. That's the whole point. Yeah. Seriously. Because you don't, you're defending police brutality? Is that really the political issue that you want to make 2020 all about? Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, again, the police are really not covering themselves in glory here. The Louisville police, who murdered Breonna Taylor, released their incident report listing injuries as none, which is amazing because she was shot 8 times.
They didn't even bother to do the paperwork on her.
No.
They didn't follow procedure at all. It's just another black woman, just another black person. I really hope they get arrested soon.
I hope so. And again, it shows, as I said, with the medical examiner in the initial post-mortem on Floyd, that there's a lot of people in the medical profession, unfortunately, who are complicit in this. They just are. Yeah. There are a lot of honest people, a lot of brilliant people, but there are some that are happy to go along with the nonsense, and those people deserve to be in jail too. Anyway, I'll just read this out. I don't even know what to do other than just read this out. NASCAR, which is like Hick Central, I suppose you might describe it as. They released a statement. The presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all our fans, our competitors, and our industry. Bringing people together around a love of racing and the community that it creates is what makes our fans and sport special. The display of the Confederate flag will be prohibited from all NASCAR events and properties.
Wow.
Yeah, did not see NASCAR bans the favorite flag of their fans.
No.
From, because you often see more Confederate flags than American flags at NASCAR events.
Yep.
Fair play. It's a bold move.
It is. It's the right move.
I hope it works out for them.
Yep.
It's absolutely the right move, but just looking at it from like a purely financial point of view, they're taking a big risk there. Yeah, because their fans are, like when I call it Hick Central, I'm only kind of joking.
On the other hand, I think they see where the tide of history is going. And then it's also for them financially, they're cutting off people who might otherwise want to follow their sport or participate more. So
yeah, in terms of growth markets, they were always going to be contained in that box of hickory, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Whereas now they can potentially break out into communities that are going to become more demographically significant. Let's just put it that way. Like people, you're going to become a minority. I'd just say change the structures that deal with racial minorities now whilst you can.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Okay.
This was just a quite funny one. Just spoke with my girlfriend's husband, who told me Antifa gave him a can of peanut brittle, but when he opened it, the can wasn't actually full of peanut brittle, but spring-activated fake snakes. Scared him half to death. Stay frosty, fellas. It's true. Shameful Antifa antics. Shameful.
Yeah.
Nigel Farage quits.
What? What
he was
happened?
About to be fired.
Was it because?
About to be fired.
Why was he about to be fired? Because of his.
Technically his contract was coming up, and they definitely weren't going to be fucking reintegrating. Even though he's got a popular show, they don't need that racist garbage because advertisers were flocking away from them.
Oh.
Because he came out and said that Black Lives Matter was like the Taliban.
Yep. And he got fired for it? Yes.
A lot of companies don't want to advertise on that shit. Nope. They don't want that kryptonite near them. Anyway.
Oh, and what does the L stand for in
LBC? About to be fired.
What does the L stand for in LBC?
London.
Yeah. You know, one of the most diverse places in the UK? London.
Yeah.
So yeah. Bye. You about to lose your job. You're about to lose
Yeah.
your job.
It really does appear there's been a genuine cultural shift, a zeitgeist shift, which was much needed.
It
Now,
reminds me a bit of Me Too in terms of
a little bit, yeah.
a bunch of people suddenly going, "Oh, you're right. We really just can't ignore this anymore, can we? This isn't right." Like, yes.
Yeah, so, positive things are happening. Is Nigel Farage losing his job going to revolutionise the world? No. But is it a good step forward? Yeah.
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 It's less shit on the airways, so good.
Yeah, that can only be positive, yeah. Although someone reminded me of the fantastic clip. Well, I couldn't bookmark it because videos are impossible for me when I'm streaming, apparently. Well, when I'm streaming, I can do videos on my own, but when I've got 2 people stream running, it's not happening.
Nope.
But the fantastic clip where the person says, I used to be a massive Remain supporter. I voted support, but then something changed my life completely, and now I completely support you. And Farage says, "What was that thing?" He said, "I got kicked in the head by a horse." And he went, "Thank you," and hung him up. Done up like a kipper. This is the kind of statue I can absolutely get behind. There's a cat, famous cat from Istanbul. If you ever get a chance, definitely go. Street cats everywhere. It's amazing. It's heaven. Anyway, and when it died, in his favourite spot, they put a statue, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But that also means that cat will be remembered long after I'm dead.
Yeah, that's true. You should go lay on the steps
Bit
in
depressing.
Istanbul and see if they make a statue.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have a very similar stat sort of roundness to me if I did as well. I think.
Yeah.
I think I'd have a very similar look. Anyway.
Hey, by the way, Flint, we might come to that story if Kevin doesn't already have it, because I don't know all Kevin's bookmarks.
What?
The Rage Against the Machine.
Story?
The Rage Against the Machine.
No, I haven't got that.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
I do.
Anyway, you interrupted me again.
Yeah, sorry.
Boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust. Ooh. Scouts founder Robert Baden-Powell, who absolutely loved him some Mein Kampf. Seriously, thought it was a brilliant book. His statue is to be removed from a pool in Dorset, which is in England. Good, because there's been accusations of racism and homophobia. Yeah.
You mean documented historical facts?
Just, good news.
Documented historical facts.
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is mental. Harry Smith, a member of Parliament, said, Mayor of London monument removal application, location, memorial in Highgate. When you say memorial, by the way, that's a gravestone. That's where he's buried. You twat.
Oh.
But
he wants to take down his grave? He wants to remove his grave?
It gets him better. Karl Marx, reason, promotion of an ideology leading to mass oppression and the death of 100 million people last century, anti-Semite.
What?
To which this person, Aaron Bastani, fantastic journalist, says, you want to exhume the dead body of a Jewish man in the name of fighting anti-Semitism.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Right.
What a moron.
Right. Yeah. That's not, there's a difference, right? There is a difference between a glorification via a statue in a completely detached public setting and the private burial ground remains of a dead person.
Yes.
The bones of that human being lie underneath that. That's a fucking headstone, you monster.
Yeah, like
fuck. You want to desecrate? You want for your own political, cultural bullshit. You are advocating the desecration of human remains
to own the libs.
To own the libs. Like what the? How twisted do you have to be as a person to like? I don't know anyone on our side, whatever, right, that wants to dig up the corpse of people
of Colston, or
even if it's a slave trader. I don't want to dig their bodies up. Let them be.
There was no mob of with pitchforks and hoes and whatever rakes going over to the graveyard to desecrate his like en masse. No, we're talking about celebrations, public celebrations with taxpayer money, maintained and advertised and associated with the city.
Yeah, and not just that, but on a broader thing with Karl Marx, he was a philosopher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he came up with some ideas. He didn't kill anyone. In the same way that I personally abhor the philosophical writings, or certainly the ones I've read, of Friedrich Nietzsche, who inspired Adolf Hitler. But I don't lay the crimes of Adolf Hitler at the feet of Friedrich Nietzsche. He was a philosopher.
Yeah. And I think Marx actually said later in his life, by the way some of the people took his ideas, he's like, I'm not a Marxist. But I mean, that's a subtlety that's a bit too, clever and lost on Mr. Henry Smith here, MP.
Yeah, the Jewish anti-Semite. Which, I mean, you can be a Jewish anti-Semite.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He wasn't. And digging up a dead Jew to fight anti-Semitism is...
How is that tweet
I don't
still
even
up?
know. Fuck you, Henry Smith.
Yeah.
Just fuck you, Henry Smith, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
This just made me laugh.
Mario.
Italian man lying on the floor unconscious whilst the police stand there and do nothing. That just made me laugh. I thought that was
It's the Mario. That's the only time
that was racist.
No, when it's Mario, you can actually do it because you're doing a tagline.
Yeah. Name a statue that actually enhances its surroundings. It's the same one, but with a cat as well. Genius. If you ever get a chance, Istanbul's amazing. I went there about 10 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hagia Sophia, which is an amazing building. It was a church. It's now a mosque. It's a city with a lot of history. Some tumultuous shit went down. And it's got all these frescoes all on the wall. It's just amazing art from a completely different era. And I just went around taking pictures of the cats. There are cats in there. There are cats everywhere. Istanbul is a city with fucking cats everywhere. And so I just went around. I was like a wildlife photographer inside one of the most beautiful ancient buildings in the world.
You were just walking past.
Anyway.
You're like, kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, our chat is now there's a heated debate on whether or not, how bad Nietzsche was. Nietzsche, like a lot of philosophers, is complicated. But anyway,
well, I can understand why it appeals to a lot of fascists. Is all I'll say. The idea of the Superman is frankly a disgusting and abhorrent thing.
Well, no, I mean the Übermensch is someone who transcends the parochial day-to-day confines of something like a Christian morality that says, oh, you should be humble and slavish and serve others and think about your joy in the afterworld. So I mean the fact that it was twisted in that way, it wasn't Nietzsche's intention, that obviously, because he lived in a different time period.
Well, no, exactly, and that's why. Yeah, I'm not going to lay any of those fascist ideologies that claimed him as their own. I'm not going to lay their crimes at his feet. I'm just saying on a personal level, I don't like that. I think that's I can see, like I say, I can see why it would appeal to fascists, which instantly makes it suspect at the very least in my eyes. But anyway, I'm not here to discuss fucking Friedrich Nietzsche, frankly. I don't know why. I only brought it up in passing. The chat, I'm fucking stupid. I've got a picture of a cat here. Fucking focus on the big issues. Dickheads. Anyway, I've got this from The Onion. The South secedes from NASCAR following Confederate flag ban.
Finally a funny Onion headline. They're kind of hit and miss these days.
Oh, shade.
Yeah, Kristi. It's hard to do satire these days. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just, it's hard to make the world look any more ridiculous than it really is.
Yeah, it's hard to be more ridiculous than reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is quite Stormzy, the rapper, British rapper, donated £10 million.
Oh, wow.
Which is fuck a lot of money. Yeah. That's like $17 million, $16 million.
Wow. Yeah.
US. Which is an amazing idea. A Stormzy statue.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah. Look, he's made a positive contribution to British society, and as far as I'm aware, has not killed or enslaved anyone. So, good news.
Yeah, already at the top of the list. And moral.
Indeed.
Okay.
And there we go. I'll stop sharing. You can.
All right, then it's going to be my time to share with you. So I just need to.
It's your time to shine, Kristi.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. All right. So now you can see my screen, correct? Yes.
Give
it a second. Okay. Yep. All right, you're back. The chat's back. Everybody is back. Woo woo! How very exciting. All right.
Well, more importantly, Backstreet's back.
Backstreet's back. All right. I don't know. You got me doing it.
Get out. Get out. get out.
Oh yes. Did you? Okay. Yeah. You didn't at least include it. I don't know if you've seen the video or not. Ben Shapiro is he can't watch sports anymore. Should we watch?
Well, this person. Well, a couple of points before we even start. Jeff Feck or Fecky, you
Yeah.
stole my tweet because I literally tweet out almost word for word the exact same thing. And also, Clay Travis people might remember from my Prager FU series. He's the guy who did the sports shouldn't be political PragerU video that I responded to.
Yes.
That's the Clay Travis, the other guy.
Oh.
So basically, an idiot talking to an idiot.
Yes. Okay. Just as context, I didn't catch the Clay Travis name, so I'm glad for that context. Okay.
I'm just gonna want a sports league that does not allow this sort of stuff to impede the play or get on the field. And people are
Kevin, why can't black and brown people just, not think about their daily lives outside the field? Why can't they just come onto the field and entertain me as a white person and then just, go about their lives? I don't want to hear about their suffering. I don't want to treat them like real people. I just want them, I'm paying them to entertain me.
Yeah, not just that, but I want to go to a game, enjoy the flyby by the ridiculously over publicly financed military, see the massive, sarcastically enormous American flag unfurled on the pitch. I want to see the obviously very political national anthem be sung, and have military appreciation days at the event. But I don't want it to be political, please.
Yes.
Keep your politics out of my massive American flag national anthem singing, please.
Yes, exactly. All right, hitting play.
I'm just going to view that because I got to say, like, I've been fairly tolerant of this stuff in terms of watching sports my entire life. There are only a couple of times where
no. Time the fuck out. You have never been tolerant of anything ever, you piece of shit, other than, racism. Very tolerant towards that. But you've not been tolerant towards, sports or whatever. Basically, black people daring to speak up. Mm-hmm. Definitely not. Also, why has he got a Winston Churchill poster behind him? Look, you're not even from here, you dopey cunt. What the fuck is wrong with you?
He loves racists. Yeah,
well, exactly. But look, at least I get it from a British perspective because there's the whole, he did fight the Nazis thing. But I mean, I don't know where. Let's say he lives in Washington, but Hitler didn't bomb Washington.
No.
He would have wanted to had he needed to, but he didn't. So.
Yeah.
All right. They did originally plan. Interestingly, declassified Soviet archive. They were going to. The plan was, if they got a nuclear bomb, was to potentially release it over New York City.
Ooh.
Little thing for you there. Yeah, would have killed a lot of people.
Quite a lot. Yeah.
But you can't even plan to bomb New York City like that without people calling you a Nazi. Jesus.
What's the world coming to? All right, that's Ben Shapiro. Who cares what he thinks? All right, this I thought was pretty funny. From Lauren Elizabeth, a clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings, and it's still not as sensitive as a man with a sports AV, 17 followers, and an American flag in their AVI.
So, yeah. Although I like AVI. You said AV and AVI. You said the same thing different twice.
I like
that. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly.
Covering my ass.
Still my favourite thing ever. This is such a niche reference that about 4 people watching this will understand. But David Pleat, who's a former British soccer manager, player, whatever, when he was commentating, I can't remember the player's name. He was a foreign player who had a relatively difficult name to pronounce. But either learn how to pronounce it properly or choose one mispronunciation and stick with it. He mispronounced this guy's name about 20 different ways. And there's no need, because just say number 6 or the Liverpool midfielder. You don't have to say his name every single time he touches them. I just thought, that's so weird. Why are you hyper-focusing on this thing? It's so strange. Anyway, just there you go. That's the crazy mind of Kev saying things.
All right. So Mike had tagged us into something. Why didn't you tell me about our charge card? I could have used that on the road trip where I drove up from Indianapolis. So yeah, the funny thing is, hold on. I don't want to get off this page. Dang it. Okay, we'll go here. Yes, there are these Antifa debit cards. And it's made by a satirical group who make them and sell them as a joke to mock people that think that anti-fascists are getting magically funded by Soros. And then they'll say, I don't think they counted on the kind of people who believe that sort of shit being extremely dumb. And, today, the Myth Information tweet account sent out something dumbass. Oh, about like taking down the wall around the White House. I can't remember exactly what it was. But one of their dumbass followers actually like put that thing up going, hey, look, Antifa, they're making money.
Oh, God.
It's like, did you think that was serious?
As the CEO of Antifa, I can say this is definitely serious. Absolutely. And
it's a loyalty card.
People, stop. You don't need to contact me asking for your Soros money. I'm the CEO. I don't deal with payroll. Okay? Like, if fucking Dave from the Minnesota branch of fucking McDonald's doesn't get paid, the CEO doesn't deal with it, does he? Come on now, people. If we're going to be run like a professional modern corporation, which we definitely are, absolutely a proper hierarchical organization, we have to sort this shit out. Okay?
Quick question. Tony Blakeway in the chat was...
No, that's the band, Tony and the Blakeways.
Yes. I think he was saying that the guy was bad at saying Yossi Benayoun.
Yossi Benayoun, yes, the Israeli midfielder.
I fucking got it right.
Yeah, exactly. You've never heard of him. So
well,
good.
Actually, I have, because I don't know how I heard of him.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know. Maybe he played in some matches.
Maybe he played in Germany. I don't know. Or maybe you're just a fan of 2000s Israeli midfielders. I don't know.
That might be.
I don't know.
That might be it. You're familiar with this?
You and Tal Naeem.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
That's another Israeli midfielder. Never mind. To move on.
There's a new documentary on German Amazon Prime. Schweinsteiger.
Of course there is. Lovely stuff. Oh.
I should take you to my Prime account to show you. Just maybe we could watch it together.
Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I have no idea what this lobster thing is. I only learned about it through Sarah Cooper. Have you seen this little clip yet?
Is this Jordan Peterson related?
No, but it should be. Okay, here we go.
It should be. Okay.
Are they the same lobster, would you say, basically?
Yes.
Would you say they're equivalent as lobster?
They're equivalent. They're
Is there a difference in size or type? Any difference?
They're coming out of the Gulf of Maine.
So you're set up with a 20% tax that they don't have, so they have a very good thing. And that's European Union, right?
Yep.
The European Union has ripped this country off so much, it's unbelievable.
And I'll tell
it's
you,
so easy to solve. I'm going to call them, David. You're going to come in, write a letter, and if they don't change, we're going to put a tariff on their cars until they change, and they'll change right away. Okay? It's unbelievable how badly, people hear about the European Union, sounds nice. They've been almost as bad over the years as China in terms of trade, but nobody talks about it.
You're so bad. Well, you for a few more months. We're so bad. Anyway, she's quite good.
What is he talking about?
Who knows? It's Trump. But she's very funny.
And also, I love that bit at the start. The guy was just like, yeah, they come out of the Gulf of Maine. Like, what do you want me to say? It's a fucking lobster, dude. Like,
I don't know what the red thing here at the end is.
About it. There's a perfect case. Maine lobster.
It's a lobster.
You understand what I'm saying?
She does good work. All right.
Yeah. Maine lobster. Do you understand? Yeah, you said the words Maine lobster. Yes. We can't see, but presumably that's a person who works in like the Maine lobster industry.
Yes,
I think they probably do know what you mean. Yeah, it would be strange to me if in that setting that person didn't know what the phrase Maine lobster. I do, and I've never been to Maine, and I don't eat lobster.
But you were able to figure it out. The president, though, needed a check.
It's a lobster caught in the Bay of Maine.
This we already had. Yours.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. In case you missed the beef between the racist and PG Tips and Yorkshire Tea. I don't know if you saw this one.
What? This? Okay. I mean, it's 2020. Fuck it. Why am I even surprised anymore? This is amazing. Go on then.
So Laura writes, "I'm dead chuffed that Yorkshire Tea hasn't supported BLM," and Yorkshire Tea writes back, "Please don't buy."
No, that's not just any Laura.
Oh, okay.
That's Laura. Racist YouTube lady. Not just racist, genuinely fascist, like Nazi YouTube lady. Laura Towler. Laura Towler.
Oh, okay.
Who's a like infamous Nazi, and part of her shtick is she's from Yorkshire and she drinks Yorkshire tea. Is like a kind of
right.
running joke on her channel. So she's like doing a kind of inside jokey bit, but also saying "fuck the blacks."
Yes.
So yeah.
Wow. Well,
So anyway,
Yorkshire Tea writes back, please don't buy our tea again. We're taking some time to educate ourselves and plan proper action before we post. We stand against racism. Hashtag Black Lives Matter.
oh Laura, you Nazi bint, you've got they've absolutely shit on you.
Yep.
Your whole shtick about Yorkshire tea. Yes, that's. I mean, I'm not going to say that's as good as taking down statues, but that is fucking funny.
Good.
That is good. Well done, Yorkshire. I might go and buy some Yorkshire tea now. I mean, I don't really drink tea, but fuck it. Yeah.
All right, and then there was this. Pamela WS. So now I've got to buy PG tips? Well, F me. This sucks, and Yorkshire tea is done. Good luck with the BS stance. And then PG tips replies, yeah, it does suck, Pamela. If you're boycotting teas that stand against racism, you're going to have to find 2 new tea brands now. Hashtag Black Lives Matters. Hashtag Solidarity.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's. I mean, yeah, they're doing like an advertisement bit, but Solidarity is fucking awesome as well. That's all. Yeah. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
So yeah, I thought you enjoyed that. Mm-hmm.
And again, if companies, and they are companies, if they're prepared to be like, "Nah, fuck you" on Twitter to racists, good. A line has been crossed where that's like a positive thing.
Yeah, and then from Niall, BBC plumbing the depths, and Frederick Moreau writes, the training course for BBC journalists in a bin fire, slipping on a banana and then stepping on a rake. So yeah, the headline is PG and Yorkshire Tea tell anti-racism critics, quote, don't buy our tea. You think that there's a faster way? Yeah. What do you call it?
Yeah, and anti-racism critic.
Is there a faster way of saying that?
It's almost like the right wing have their own version of political correctness, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you just call
and it basically means don't call them racist.
Yeah,
even though they're obviously very racist.
Yeah, if you're criticizing anti-racism, you're a racist. You don't need to say anti-racism critics. They're just racists. That's it.
Yeah, but on this show, we're anti racism.
Okay.
Now there's a I didn't count there, so there's a 50% chance I just called us racist, but there's also a 50% chance that I kicked it in the dick. I'm shooting
just like
wild
Peter
here,
Coffin.
people, okay?
You and Peter Coffin kicking it in the dick.
Well, you've just referenced it there. Should we play the weird little bit from his shit video?
I do,
okay.
but I need
Is it a video?
I need a comfort break though, because we've been going for like 2 hours now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
have we?
No, only an hour and 15.
An hour and a quarter.
Yes, it feels like 2.
Well, I'm sorry, time has fucking dragged for you.
Well, it's only because I need a comfort break. So yeah, you want to talk? You want to set up the talk or whatever? You can talk about PG tips, and I will come back and join you.
We'll talk about both PG tips and silliness. Yeah.
Okay, do that.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, we're going to do it. There's a thing. I don't know if people have seen Peter Coffin's latest excreta, but he put out a video, and it's. I mean, it's called Liberalism Sucks, and I get that. That's his position. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm not a liberal myself. I'm a socialist, but he says something in it. I mean, it's the typical pseudo-intellectual word salad guff that you've come to expect from him. But he says a thing, and we're going to play it in just a second, that's so stupid and so kind of self-defeating, because he basically renders the thing he's trying to say meaningless. He's trying to say liberalism sucks, but then basically renders the word liberalism fucking meaningless, which means his whole video and the whole premise of it is pointless. And it made me laugh. So, well, it made me laugh and kind of be slightly aghast at the stupidity, really. But we'll take a look at that in a second. But yes, I'm absolutely all here for PG Tips and Yorkshire Tea telling the anti-racism critics that that pop filter works, by the way. I don't know. No? The anti-racism critics that they can go fuck themselves on Twitter. That's good. That's good. Like I get that the kind of snarky or I don't know, kind of spicy corporate account, stuff. It can be a bit overdone, a bit silly. But I like the fact that it's been able to read it through the lens of, I mean, you might call it the Overton window or whatever. I don't like that phrase, and I think it's ridiculously overdone. But when you get these kind of things happening, is what that shows about the society that we're in, and the fact that we may have crossed some sort of cultural threshold to which we can feel positive, if that makes sense. Look, it's a better place.
Going to catch me up.
Anyway,
sounds like an interesting conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was talking about the fact that these kind of snarky corporate accounts like PG Tips and Yorkshire Tea can be a bit silly and overplayed at times. But if you view it through the lens of these companies know what is viable for the majority of people, what they're allowed to say and stuff, and whilst they may overstep the mark sometimes, generally speaking, they're a pretty good guide for where public opinion is at. And if they feel comfortable doing this, then maybe we've crossed a cultural
I got it.
divide or a cultural gap that is a positive.
In terms of
anyway,
larger social norms.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a quick piss.
Oh,
so
okay.
You're going to need to talk for a second.
Okay. Right. All right, well, you go. I'll see what is next up on the Twitters. See if I need you for that. Oh, yeah, Glinner. Glinner's done another Glinner. Actually, I've got a better one. He's very mad at Harry Potter for having an opinion. And apparently Harry Potter is a traitorous, misogynist piece of shit. Oof. I guess Glinner's policing policing things, the internet, pretty hard these days. So, hello, everyone. Nothing wrong with the term the Overton window. I'm just going to, since you brought that up, Gorilla. The Overton window is an interesting phrase for me because, I studied political behavior and did an entire thesis on it, and it's not a phrase that comes up. I understand that it was developed by somebody to think tank, and I think the Overton window as a concept might be useful, but I'm unaware of its empirical validity. So the extent to which it as a way of explaining where things are positioned in political space, you kind of have to do a spatial analysis of sort of like a left-right spectrum. And so, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting phrase, but I don't know that it has a theoretical construct. So theories are a way for us to explain the world in terms of cause and effect, or a series of causes that produce effects. So anyway, I'm babbling now because Kevin is gone and I have to wait. So maybe what we can do instead is we're just going to play the You're About to Lose Your Job mix, because it's going to come up later, and I'm going to skip ahead because we missed part of it in the last one. So we're just going to jump in here in the middle of it, and we're going to jam. Yeah.
You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your J-O-B. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job. Get this thing. You about to lose your job.
So, yes, thank you, Flint, for making up for Kevin's absence by typing penis in the chat. That's very on brand. Thank you. So, yep, we're gonna. It is so catchy, and I'm bringing it up now because we're gonna come across a couple stories that reference this a little bit later on, and yeah, it's sort of the coronavirus mix, the Cardi B bop that she had was big on Twitter, but this, because of the moment we're in, has actually kind of made it outside of Twitter. So we're going to see that in some videos. Do I hear Kevin breathing? We are. Yes. By the way, did you have to edit out stuff from your video from our K-pop stuff?
I didn't even check.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to check? Is it up?
Yeah, we can check and see. I thought I saw the episode, so we'll check. we had one that was
I
copyright
don't know.
claimed.
Well, I haven't edited anything.
And I had to take out like 3 seconds, and I re-uploaded it, and then I haven't checked back to see. It was I had to do
I
more.
worked out how to do the thumbnails before we go live.
Excellent. Oh, you mean you just upload it? You upload the picture.
Well, yeah,
in
but I
the-
didn't. Yeah, but you used to just be my Kevin Logan avatar thing.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Now it's something else. Yeah.
But now
that's
I'm
true.
like, oh, I can actually put an image, so like people know what the fucking thing is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that for D&D, and for my Sunday show, I have a stock photo. But it's here. Yeah. So it's not down. So you guys can go watch it. So it is still up. The K-pop distraction.
No, it's not down, but you can get down to it.
Yes. Get
So-
down on it. Brr, brr. Okay.
I
Glinner.
don't remember the trilling bird situation there.
Yeah. This isn't so
There
much.
you go. Oh, we're not doing
Oh,
coffin.
Later. Oh, yes, we're doing coffin. That's right.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. All right. So you want to set this up, Kevin? Because this is a surprise for me.
Well, I already kind of did, but yeah, it's called Liberalism Sucks, the video. And yet the very thing, liberalism, that he's criticizing, he renders meaningless.
Oh, okay. And here, do you want to define how is he using the term liberalism? Because as you know, it can be applied to many different, again,
Well, I think it's best we
political
play it
liberalism,
because
economic. Okay.
I have absolutely no fucking idea what definition he is using, and I suspect neither does he.
Oh, well, that
Which
would
is literally
explain a
why
lot.
I want us to play this, because the list of people he reads out is quite something.
Okay, so I went a little bit back. We're starting at 3305, I guess. I think you said 3320. So we'll have a little bit of lead up. Okay.
Capitalism, they are still commodities. Though I would say a YouTube video is a much more complex exchange as it appears to be free, but that's another discussion altogether, nerds. I still need money to live because I don't own anything that just continually makes money for me while I do no work whatsoever. Speaking of,
Wait.
Patreon-
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say, don't all of his ads on YouTube make him money as soon as he finishes a video and walks away from it? I'm sorry. Okay.
I suppose so, but I mean, not much.
Well,
'Cause
but he said,
trust me,
I don't have anything that
Well,
makes
yeah.
money for me when I'm not working. I'm like, your entire channel makes money for you when you're not working.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm making money.
suppose. But you know what you kind of know what he means. They're like a factory or whatever that constantly churns out produce or whatever.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying empirically,
But that's not.
yeah. It's not the point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the point. Okay, I'm getting distracted on him being empirically incorrect on a different point. Okay.
Well, yeah, and also let's not bury the fact that this is pseudo intellectual trash anyway.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Okay.
the entire video is him essentially filleting himself about how clever he is, then the liberals and there's the capitalisms. Like, oh, just Jesus. Sorry, go on.
Okay.
in description. Ben Shapiro is a liberal. Alex Jones is a liberal. And even
What? 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 Okay.
No, you've stopped it. Just continue.
Okay.
There's one more name he mentions. It might blow your head off.
Okay.
Donald Trump is a liberal.
Wow. You just call everyone you don't like a liberal.
That literally, yeah. I mean, it renders the term liberal fucking meaningless.
Well, I don't, because
If both Christy Winters and Donald Trump are liberals, then liberal means nothing.
yeah.
Liberal doesn't mean a fucking thing, which means your video called Liberalism Sucks means this thing that means nothing sucks.
Sucks. Yes.
Well done. You've killed it.
Ah.
Jesus. Anyway, I just wanted you to see that because I thought that was when he said that I thought there's no fucking way he put that out. There's no fucking way he wrote that down, thought this is good, filmed it, edited it, uploaded it, and then fucking released it. And no point did he go, is that fucking dumb as shit? I don't know. Is it? Fuck off.
Yes. I mean, liberal actually does have, if you work in political theory or economics, the term means something. It's when it's given to people who think they're much smarter than they actually are and don't adhere to rigorous definitions that it loses all its meaning. And was that everything, by the way? Was that
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, we
can turn it off.
I mean, you can watch it if you want to, but ultimately,
That
ultimately,
was it.
I just wanted you to see that line
That's
because I thought
ridiculous.
when I saw that, I just thought that's who like what kind of what grown adult who
Yeah.
like reads anything or watches any news can possibly say that with a straight face. Like if that was a bit of satire or something, that would be potentially funny or whatever. But that's him. That's his serious opinion.
Yeah. I
Okay, I mean you're a fucking idiot then. Well done.
Okay, so like, yeah, I'm already checked out mentally. Like, okay, this is a waste of my time.
Well, no, I checked out in the first few minutes when he started going about neoliberal ideology, and I just thought, you
Oh,
don't know
great.
what this is. You don't know
Yeah.
what that is, and that's fine. Like neoliberal is like the new buzzword or whatever. That's fine. Well, no, it's not fine, but it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But when you then take liberal, which is a reasonably well defined thing, and just mean anyone I don't like, you
Yeah.
you've memed yourself. You've turned yourself into a fucking meme.
Yeah. I thought this this tweet coming up here from G is very, very well said. I can't believe they tell us our weaves, braids, dreads, and whatnot is unprofessional when our PM comes out looking like this. Oh my god. And
Yeah,
we don't
look
have to
at
listen.
that. He looks
Yeah.
like me, but I'm at home and not on camera.
Yes. Exactly. Look at even like how his shirt's got like wrinkles coming here down it, and his tie is kind of crooked. He's a fucking mess. Comb your hair, you
that's
idiot.
embarrassing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
dreadlocks.
exactly. But like I say, properly put together braids that takes a long fucking time. That's smart.
Yeah.
This is garbage.
Yeah,
But he's white, so that's allowed.
Mm-hmm. Precisely. Yeah, I'm watching the new series
Jesus.
of Queer Eye, and they've had 2 people so far get braids. No, one guy had his dreads redone because they were just getting a little shaggy. I stand corrected. Yeah, I don't know. We must not have covered this yet. University of Alabama system to review all building names. Remove Confederate Army plaques in Tuscaloosa.
Cool.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, and the fact that the army bases again, why you've got army bases named after treasonous,
Oh, yeah.
American murderers.
There's a
I don't
whole-
know. I don't know why you would have that, but it's been that way for a long time. Apparently, they're going to review all of that, and cool.
Good.
And various other things. That's why I call it 10-pin bowling, because the amount of racist shit being taken down or planned to be taken down or is being reviewed is just impossible to keep up with around the world.
Mm-hmm.
But in Glasgow, there's been like a kind of not well, it's not even sabotage really. Whatever, kind of people putting up new road signs. They're not official road signs, but changing the slave trader road signs into naming them after other people. Now that's not official, so
We'll
I mean, I
see.
don't know if they're going to actually change those names. They fucking should.
Yeah.
But clearly the people of Glasgow are not fucking around with it.
Good.
Just decided to call it something else. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I sent you this when I learned about this story because I played the remix while you were gone. A little bit of this, which you heard, right? I don't know if you heard it or not, but I sent you this article because
when you played it a minute ago.
Yeah.
No, but I've heard it before.
Okay.
You played it in the last show.
Yeah,
didn't
we
you?
did. We did.
Or did you play it off air?
No, I played it when
I
you were
can't remember.
gone because I couldn't think of anything to talk about, so I just put the song on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, no, I've heard it. Yeah. It's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we played it last time on the show, and her name is Janiqua Charles. 4 months ago, she was homeless, dealing with an addiction.
Can we just Janiqua?
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. I have to say, African American names are delightful. I mean, genuinely, I'm not saying that to be patronizing. They're wonderful names. It's an amazingly creative kind of almost art in itself.
Mm-hmm. Melodic. All right. And
Still my favourite. DeBrickashaw. Amazing.
Oh.
Like DeBrickashaw Ferguson's parents called him DeBrickashaw. Beautiful. I got called fucking Kevin. Jesus.
She was so back to the story. She was estranged from her family when she had a run-in with a security officer. Now, because of a video of that incident, she's gone viral in recent days, and Charles' life is beginning to turn around. Quote, "I'm just overwhelmed. I'm such a humble person. To see that, it's just amazing to me," she told BuzzFeed News. "I'm just glad it's something so positive." So the 27-year-old is the woman in the viral video that's come to be known as Lose Your Job. In the video, she questions a security guard as to why he's detaining her, and then turn her protests into an ad-libbed song and dance. And then they go through the text of it. So she and her sister, Andrea, don't know why the video is suddenly everywhere, but exploded in popularity. And with people around the states and the world protesting police brutality, the song became a viral hit, The Perfect Moment. The catchy and timely tune provided some laughter during difficult times, and it's even been sung and displayed at protests. So, yeah, we have some of that. I've got video of that.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
So apparently, the video was first posted on Facebook by the guard, Julius Locklear, on February 5th. Quote, "Okay, I am not posting this to be funny towards this subject," Locklear wrote in his Facebook post.
Well, yeah, but you are sort of laughing in the videos.
He did.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
He said, he went on to write in his Facebook post, quote, "I'm posting it because that rap was lit. Like, I wish I could put a beat to that, LOL." So Locklear, yeah. And just to confirm, like, look at his face. You can see he turns his head to the side because he starts smiling because he is like liking her dance so much.
Why are you detaining me? You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing.
So his job is in bail enforcement, and the incident happened at a gentleman's club. His colleague filmed the incident because his body camera wasn't working. He said he detained Charles for trespassing after he twice asked her to leave the club. Charles said she had been trying to get into the club after it closed because she accidentally left her purse inside. He said, I thought, okay, so this is what she said. I guess he thought I was going back in just to go back inside the club, but he wouldn't allow me, and that's how the argument between me and him started, Charles said. I told him to suck my dick, and that is the moment he basically put the handcuffs on me and tussled with me a little bit. Quote, "I just let her vent," said Locklear, "and exercise her freedom of speech. The situation had nothing to do with race or discrimination," he said. "You can see me handling it professionally and trying to keep a straight face, but I couldn't." Locklear called the sheriffs.
I told him to suck my dick.
Yeah. He called the sheriff's deputies, but Charles was not arrested, told to go free. And Locklear said, for the record, he did not lose his job. So she'd been homeless, dealing with drug addiction and doing sex work to survive, and she hadn't spoke to her family since around November. They were caring for her 3-year-old son. And when the viral video went out, they put like a search party out. She's now reconnected with her family. She's living with them and trying to rebuild her life. And as well, her sister set up an Instagram and started selling T-shirts, created a GoFundMe that raised her $30,000. So a lot of people said,
awesome.
Yep. People were like, "Oh, she's brought me so much joy, with the song or whatever else," and I wanted to give her a little bit of something to help her out. So yeah, actually, it all ended up kind of having a bit of a happy ending. So
awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right, that's about it. Oh, another California woman caught on camera yelling and swearing at a Black Lives Matter protester has issued an apology for what she called a moment of anxiety, frustration, and panic. No, racist. White people, I just love seeing these white people get called out. I do. I really do.
A lot of Karen apologies going on, and yeah, I don't give a fuck at this point. Like, just maybe stop being racist first would be good.
So, as John Hudson writes, this is also my preferred way of greeting office colleagues. This is from James S. Brady, the press briefing room, 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. Miss McClaney, hello everyone. The transition to greatness has officially begun.
What?
That was how they started a press conference.
Hang on, that's a Trump person that said that.
Yep.
Could they start sounding anything more like a fucking cult?
I know.
The dear leader has started the official greatness. We're going to get into the spaceship and go into the moon. We just have to drink the special potion. The fuck? How creepy is this?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
More white people being racist. A conservative counselor has resigned over his racist post shared on social media. I don't even know. Why don't they put their name? Put your fucking name in there. Just put your name in there.
But apparently it's the Labour Party that are
Mm.
racist. So.
Yeah, they've got that big problem. Robin Vickery stepping down as Suffolk County and Ipswich Borough Councillor after he was shared a post on social media calling for Black and Asian people to be deported. Great.
I thought that was official government policy.
Why don't they put these white people's names? Put their names in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if this actually was happening, but someone was saying Islamophobes were looking for Islamic statues to pull down. Which you don't understand
and
Islam.
there aren't any. Yeah. You're a fucking idiot. What are you doing? Yeah, and Tommy Robinson and his crew were out like defending statues. Well, I mean, what are you talking about? Defending statues?
Yeah.
Like,
what does that even mean?
It's so strange to me that you would do that. Like it's so anyway. But yeah, they didn't really do a lot. And of course, Britain First had their White Lives Matter thing, and about 6 people turned up. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're not really winning this argument, guys.
Yeah, definitely not.
Maybe reassess.
The other day, Woody Harrelson was trending because people thought he was some racist guy in a video. So Grant O'Brien writes this, then he said, I was his waiter once and he stayed late and felt bad, so he invited me, his waiter, to join his group, let me smoke a full joint, and then went into the racist history of Robert Moses. It's not him.
Well, yeah, because he's got that kind of face. He looks like people.
Yes. And then...
That's why he plays an everyman so well. So.
And then the conversation, he added 4 more tweets, which are fucking awesome. So he goes on to write, David Blaine was also there, and he made a quarter from my pocket. A quarter from my pocket have a hole in it somehow. That night ruled. Also, fuck Robert Moses.
The fuck is this? Well, I mean, I don't know who Robert Moses is, but firstly, what the fuck kind of... Hang on. So there was Woody Harrelson having dinner with a party that included David Blaine doing magic tricks, all getting high.
Yes.
What restaurant is this? What the where is this happening? Other than in my fucking wet dreams?
Yeah.
What is this?
Somewhere in LA. And then Grant finishes off by saying, and thus marks the only time I ever did that job high. Glances around nervously.
yeah, obviously. Of course. Because it's against the law. Mm-hmm. So
not so much in California anymore, but
probably not. Well, if they're smoking it openly in the restaurant, presumably it's okay. But
yeah, although
those are rich white people, so who knows?
The Lincoln Project is just going after Trump all the fucking time. They annoyed him before to the point where the Trump campaign. I read this earlier this week, and with all the noise going on, it's hard to keep all this stuff straight. But the Trump campaign has spent $400,000 on TV ads on Fox, CNN, and MSNBC in the Washington, D.C. area, which is as blue as the deep blue sea, because that's where Trump is and watches TV. So he can see his own ads on the stations locally.
What the fuck?
$400,000 on TV buys for D.C., which will never vote for Trump.
They've lost then. Yeah, they've lost then. I mean, genuinely, if that's how they're spending their money, they've lost.
Yeah.
And I know they're panicking. I know I've some people online who know these things. There's some fantastic accounts out there. And the Trump campaign behind the scenes are freaking out over the polling.
Yeah.
Because even though, they thought they'd lost in 2016 and realistically should have done. It was a statistical quirk of almost magical proportions to lose by fucking 4 million or nearly 3 million votes, whatever, and still somehow win.
Yeah, get 70,000 votes across 3 states to just get the enough electoral college votes. Yeah.
Yeah, madness. But apparently that's a landslide of epic historical proportions. Apparently.
Yeah.
Even though it's literally the 4th narrowest win ever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the 5th narrowest. There were 4 that were less comprehensive. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Fuck. Yeah, they're freaking out because the polling that they were scared they'd lost in 2016 was fucking phenomenal compared to where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Like, he wishes he had those shit numbers. He's through the floor, especially because in states that he needs desperately to win, like it looks like if it was held today, he'd lose Texas.
He could lose Arizona, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's if he loses Texas, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking done. Texas is a massive state,
yeah.
which was always solidly red. It had to be. It had to be. whereas now it's purple as fuck, and well, in many respects, and yeah, it looks like it might go against him, which would be fucking ridiculous and brilliant because he can't win without Texas.
Oh yeah,
He'd have to basically run the board of everything else, which is just not going to happen.
I honestly, with Texas has so many electors that if he lost that, I don't even know if you could get like a Florida Pennsylvania combo. And Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's from Scranton, so he's Pennsylvania is not like Hillary Clinton land from last time.
Isn't that where the American office is based?
I boycotted the American office. I stay pure with the original. So I'm still an American office virgin.
Orion Cooper reckons, I don't know if this is true, Trump is tied with Biden in Missouri.
That is, yeah. Fingers crossed. I mean, just in terms of the outcome.
If Missouri win, I mean, then we would actually be talking historic landslides.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is right now, his approval ratings.
It's not a big state, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, but his approval ratings are down where Carter's and George Herbert Walker Bush was. That's where he is in terms of his approval ratings. And neither of those guys got a second term.
And yeah, I was about to say, how many terms did they?
Yeah, I'm a one-termer. Okay. So Sofan was saying, Tim can find something positive, literally anything about, literally anything that Trump does. And then Dorico Baker Trump takes a shit on his desk. Tim Pool. Can you honestly imagine a Democrat having the balls to shit on their own desk? I know it's weird and disgusting, but honestly, would a Democrat be this entertaining? That's pretty much.
I could see him tweeting that. Definitely. Mm-hmm. And by the way, would you say that Tim Pool is arguably the most grifty of the grifters?
Oh, I guess with Peterson out of the race now.
Yeah, so I think we're all in agreement. He's certainly he's a part of that conversation. He's earned his place in the Hall of Fame of griftery.
Yes, definitely.
A person that we're going to mention later, because it's definitely been bookmarked, but a certain person in a live stream said a really stupid thing, but also said that he didn't think that Tim Pool was a grifter.
What
he said
happened?
He was stupid, but he wasn't a grifter.
Didn't he just raise $1 million for a website or something?
Yeah, and stole that money from his brother.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, okay. So Vadim's got I think 2 tweets in here, but he was saying, I was skeptical about Donald Trump's claim that the police shoved the old man, knocking him down with staged, but the expert on falling is here, and he's setting us all straight.
Oh, I tweeted something out like this. I said that as someone who's also got a PhD in falling, I can say this is 100% legit.
As someone who is an expert on falling.
Expert on falling? What is that? How does one attain expert status in falling?
Honestly, I don't know.
That's
it's ridiculous. It is.
Unless I suppose you might say if you were a stunt person.
Yes.
Maybe. But then you'd say as a stunt person, not as an expert in falling.
Yeah. Whereas cousin Dave here, he's the bagel boss. Oh no, he got reported for harassment by the bagel boss. So I don't think he's no stunt claims or stunt proficiencies claimed in the.
He's an expert in falling, so.
But he is an expert in falling.
And hasn't been, even though he got fucking rinsed, has not taken that down. So, I mean, in many respects, at least he's got the balls to own his nonsense, but there we go.
Yeah.
Or stupidity, I suppose.
Patton Oswalt, another Confederate monument destroyed. Donald Trump's star becomes a black hole with dog poo on it, I think.
How many times are they going to bother replacing that thing? It's been torn up so often now. Just,
let it go.
Again, boom, boom. Another brick bites the dust.
Yeah. Mike Suchberry here. Stuchberry, sorry. You're kidding, Paul, right? That's not just any kind of king. That's Leopold II of Belgium, one of the single most horrific slave owners in history. So yeah, he was getting all sad because the Antwerp authorities.
Babadum, boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust.
Kevin's enjoying this episode.
Yeah, I am. Well, like I say, inject it straight into my fucking veins. Yes, people, Leopold again. if you followed my Descent of Manosphere series, I did a bit on Leopold, was the King of Belgium, who took personal ownership, not the country of Belgium. Leopold II took personal ownership of the land that now comprises the Democratic Republic of Congo, then just known as the Belgian Congo, after the Treaty of Berlin. Oh, anyway, basically where the European powers carved up Africa for themselves. He took personal control of that, during which time millions of Congolese were killed, millions were enslaved, and the particularly brutal punishment of any even slight breaking of the rules would mean your hands would get chopped off.
Oh, yes. I actually saw that featured in a museum on holiday
I
in
showed
Norwich. Yeah.
some pictures in the Descent of Manosphere episode of people who's they'd had their hands cut off by the civilized.
Yes.
So yeah, and also Paul, why have you put the word slavers in quotation marks?
Yep.
They were slavers, mate. I mean,
it's not disputed. It's not alleged. It's fact.
Yeah, they were actually rather proud of it. They did not hide it.
Yes.
They even put up fucking statues.
Yes. They did not hide it. So there was another one here from R&D, but this one is unavailable because whoever it was took their tweet away, so we got to skip that. Oh, this was it. Oh, did Scott finally take his tweet down?
Oh, maybe they really do want their safe space. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So basically, this guy Scott Castanand or whatever said, "Dear Tom Morello, I really liked your music before it became all political." And people were like, "What the fuck music were you listening to?" Because you know who Tom Morello, what band he was in.
Do I know?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. There's a huge, like ridiculously huge Rage Against the Machine fan. Yes, I do know.
Okay. So then
I would. There are a few men whose dicks I would suck. Tom Morello is one of them. So I'm just Tom. If you're listening, give me a ring.
Right after Piers Morgan, you're up next.
No, that's no. I would make sweet love with Tom Morello.
Oh, okay.
I would hate fuck. I would hate fuck the shit out of Piers Morgan. There's no love between me and Piers. That's just brute animalistic.
Okay, yes, raw chemistry.
Frankly, well, no, it's not chemistry. It's fucking.
It's okay.
I would make love to Tom Morello. I do disgusting things with Tom Morello. Anyway, so yes, basically to answer your question, yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, so someone was trying to go, "Oh, Tom, I really liked your music before it was political," and he just got dragged all over Twitter, so he took his tweet down, which is probably the right thing to do, because that was just, he just got dragged. Stephen Miller, who crafted...
I saw someone respond to this with, they said, how was, Rage Against the Machine. What machine did they think they were raging against? The fucking washing machine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. When they said fuck, and another person said these fucking edge boy pricks. When they heard the line "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," did they think that was aimed at their mother?
Yeah, I think. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Who do you think they were talking about? You fucking idiots.
Not your mom. Not your mom.
Not your mom. No. It was your dad. Oh.
April Ryan was reporting Stephen Miller, who crafted Trump's immigration policy at the southern border, including separating families and caging children, is preparing a White House speech on race relations. To which Ana Navarro writes, "Why was David Duke not available?"
Oh, well, maybe it'll just be 3 words: blood and soil.
Oh. Okay. Oh, yeah, now the Navy. You know, last time we had the Marines prohibiting the Confederate flag. Now it's the Navy.
Indeed.
Do you want to do the da-da-dum for the flag?
Ba-ba-dum. Boom. Boom. Another prick bites the dust.
Yes. Oh, I thought you would appreciate this. This is a Kevin one just for you. This is not for the happy hour.
What's this?
So the National Park Service had a notice here. You want to read it out loud?
Okay. Bathroom supplies may not sorry, may not available here. What?
Yeah, there should be not
Bathroom
be.
supplies may not be available here. Please check the roll before you commit. Thank you for your cooperation. Before you commit. Yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, you know exactly what they mean there.
Exactly.
Because there's a point of no return, isn't there? That, you know.
So I just thought you would really enjoy that because I did. And also this person, Joe Bernstein, who said the National Park Service employee who chose the verb commit here should be awarded a Nobel in literature. But it would have been more impressive if they wouldn't have been distracting by leaving the main verb out, the be verb.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, am I reading that wrong? That first sentence doesn't seem to make any fucking sense. It may not available here.
Yes.
Like fucking
That's too bad.
Yoda.
They were so busy focused on the commit part, but... All right, if you tweet
Exactly.
out...
That's, well, it was funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you tweet out, I am the leader of Antifa, the FBI might call your mom. So, like, this guy tweeted out he was the leader of Antifa.
That'd be amazing. But I've already said, I am the CEO of Antifa. Please ring my mom, because I know it would annoy her. That would be hilarious.
What is
She'd
that?
also tell you to go fuck yourself. Well, actually, she wouldn't swear, but she'd tell you to,
Piss
leave
off.
me alone. Yeah.
All
He's
right.
doing what now? I thought he was a security guard. What? Oh.
All right,
look
so
at that
but we have
face.
to wait for it because it gets really good at the end. Just look at him. Look at him. His little tongue pops out.
Oh.
Right there.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, cute doggy.
Bless.
Oh, this guy is quite funny. Actually, in some ways, Cog used to do videos on YouTube, I think, and he would do these kinds of videos. This guy's, I think, a little bit more professional, though. He's got a few more followers. But have you seen this?
Also, Munya Chihuahua. Lovely.
That is it. Also, that's another great name. I wonder if this is a guy who did the.
Tommy Robinson's.
Anyway, go ahead.
So I was reading the thing out. Tommy Robinson's plan for a race war ruined by train inspector.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Go on then.
Rail cards, please. Sorry, sir, you're going to have to turn that down. This is a quiet coach.
Bullshit!
Well, I'm very sorry to ruin your race war pre-drinks, but you can't listen to music in here.
What about Little Mix?
Well, I doubt you listen to Little Mix, because one of them is brown. Why don't you go and listen to some Macklemore and Coach D?
Because there's too many people who aren't white.
Right, well, this is a train to London, not a KKK Benga bus.
Move them out the way.
I will not move them out of the way, thank you, Nicholas. Now, can I see your tickets, please?
I'm getting so fucking angry.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry, Mr. Robinson. What can I possibly bring you to make it better?
The sculpture of a naked boy being held by a man. What is going on?
This isn't valid. It's an old person's rail card. How old are you?
300 years old.
Oh, right. And what was invented in 1702?
White privilege.
I suppose that's probably true, to be fair. Anyway, so I'm going to have to call the police.
Oh, man.
Oh, cheer up. You look like you've seen a ghost. Reminds me of that song. Dun, 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 dun. Who are you going to call?
Piers Morgan.
It's around.
You like that?
It's amazing.
Wasn't it
I don't
good?
know what I don't know what the real point of that. It was very. Okay.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
Yeah. How old are you? 300.
Jacksonville, Florida. They're also doing another one there. I don't know if we already saw this one. This is for the city of Jacksonville's
Ba-ba-dum.
inventory.
Boom, boom. Another brick bites the dust.
Okay. What's this? Oh, this was Robert Milligan.
Ba-ba-dum, boom, boom. Another brick bites the dust. I mean, he got done twice now. I've
Yeah.
done him twice, but
Well, that's what most people
Fuck it.
want, to be honest.
and that's, to be fair, that's how sort of unaware and sort of mundane it's treated here, slavery. That I've never heard of Robert Milligan. I didn't even know he had a statue. I'd almost certainly have walked past that statue. Didn't notice.
Wouldn't
didn't
have
know.
noted.
Loads of street names named after people. I
Mhm.
don't know. They're probably slavers. I don't know.
Yep.
It's just littered throughout, and it's just taken completely blasé. No one really gives a fuck, which is better in a sense because when it's taken down, generally people are
Nobody
like,
gives a
"Oh,
fuck."
I I didn't know. It's okay. There was a statue there. Now there's not. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Or you
I've got
find
to be,
out.
I've got to be places.
Yeah, like you find out your friend lives on a street named after a slaver, and they're gonna change it, and you're like, oh, good, my friend won't live on a shitty street name anymore. Like, it's not a big deal.
Well, there was I didn't bookmark it because it had a video attached to it. But a guy called Liam Rosenia, who's a football player, soccer player here in Britain, who grew up in Bristol, and it was like the videos of the Edward Colston statue being torn down. And he went when he lived in Bristol as a kid because he grew up there. He said he went to Colston's school, and at no point during his time at that school was he ever told that Colston was a slaver. It wasn't until he was an adult that he learned that, even though it was at Colston school.
That's amazing.
Like, yeah, ridiculous.
200 years ago, that asshole could have owned him, you know, or could have kidnapped him and made money off his sale.
Well, I mean, he was not 200 because
no 300.
Dead,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
300. Sorry, I don't do math very well in public.
Well, you're American.
That's true.
So I did. I insulted all of America for no reason. So.
Okay, so moving on, if we might. Petraeus, it's time to remove the name of Confederate traitors like Benning, Bragg, and from the military bases. So expect to see that changing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't agree with David Petraeus on many things, but yeah, these people were traitors. Obviously. I mean, I don't know in any other country where a traitorous uprising that tries to cede part of the country away is celebrated.
Yes.
And allowed like it's remembered, understood, discussed, educated about, but to have statues like glorifying those people,
why?
The fuck is wrong with it? Like well, in a way, how pathetic do you have to be to allow that on your soil? Well, that's you're capitulating to the evil within.
Here's a turn that everybody saw coming. Dave Ruman explains why he has become religious and is against secularism.
I literally called it.
Yeah, you did.
I literally called it about 2 years ago or something.
Carl Benjamin's on the
going full.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead and finish.
Just Carl Benjamin's on what? Sorry,
he's on the same track. I hear myself. You don't have your headphones in. I can hear my voice bouncing off your back. Oh, okay. Oh,
I do.
I can hear my voice. Interesting.
I can put my fucking camera on and show you.
Do it. No, don't do it.
You don't want to see that noise, but yeah.
So you want to hear him whine? Should we listen to a little bit of Dave whining?
No, please. I mean, he's such a genius, such a big-brained person that I'm sure he's going to prove God. So let's listen.
Fairly obvious to me over the last couple of years, speaking to many of the people who you've talked to, from Sam Harris and Steven Pinker and Michael Shermer and Jordan Peterson and the rest, that there has to be empirical truths outside of us that.
If he's getting that idea from Sam Harris, I guess Sam Harris is turning people religious. Great job, Sam Harris.
Also, how do you have an empirical proof beyond us?
This is it. He doesn't understand what words mean.
Yeah, Dave, that's literally impossible.
Yes.
An empirical truth or an empirical fact or whatever is something that it's been proven.
Yes, by us,
humans.
Through our observations. Yeah. So it doesn't exist if we're not around.
There are things that are true regardless of whether we know them, but that's not an empirical truth, is it?
Yeah,
obviously.
There are things that are, whether or not we know about them, but the idea that they are structured with concepts and language and relations is purely because of our minds. It doesn't, what exists independent of mind isn't organized.
It's the postmodernisms. It's the Kristi, it's the postmodernisms that doesn't understand the meanings of the words imperialisms.
Yes, clearly.
So,
as we've already seen from, all right. So continuing. Actually, this is about as far as I got into the video. I don't actually know what he says because I noped out at this point.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, straight away. Literally, the opening sentence is, Sam Harris turned me religious and empirical facts exist beyond human comprehension or whatever. Then that's gibberish.
Yes.
Instantly, that's gibberish.
Yep. All right, hitting play.
set order in the universe. One of the reasons we're seeing such chaos out of the left is that secularism run rampant. It gives you what the left is. It gives you people with a completely competing set of ideas, often that have nothing to do with reality, just based on how they feel at any moment. And the reason they're constantly destroying each other is because, well, okay, I feel $15 minimum wage is right, so I'm morally good. Then the next person comes and says the $20 thing, and then they're morally good. Now you got to cut them down, and there's a million versions of this.
So God.
Yeah, because people want a $15 minimum wage, God exists. And not just that, but Dave, as a person of Jewish extraction, which I know you don't like to constantly fucking reference because you hate identity politics, but as a person who is of Jewish extraction, I don't know that you want to tear at the seams of secularism in a Christian mental country.
We have so much to get through. I have to keep going. We're just going to barrel right through, Dave.
Yeah.
And keep heading up. You want to go with this next tweet? Because I think you'll find it amusing, Carl. Not Carl. Sorry, Kevin. Sorry.
Well, I am a fat, useless British man, so, you know, we've got things in common. Racists will say shit like, quote, speak English, this is America, we don't speak Spanish here, unquote. Then go in a city called Buena Vista or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I remember that the Trump supporter in San Francisco saying, screaming at some Mexicans to go home.
Yeah, like this was
San Francisco, dude.
This was Mexico. We took it from them. They got to stay because it was their fucking country. Oh yeah, a bit of information about the slaver, but we already talked about. Someone is saying Boris Johnson released a 5-minute video denouncing BLM protesters for flouting social distancing. Why didn't he condemn Dominic Cummings or the VE Day street parties or the packed beaches? How dare he? And
yeah, exactly. But those were white people. That's fine, apparently.
Yes. All right, we're ready from a little bit more here from.
Did someone say white privilege? Anyone?
We want a little bit more from Brent here. Terhune.
I do. Yes.
They want to take our guns. I don't think so. With an A. I love that.
Well, they take as well.
Yeah. R. Okay. Here we go. He shouts a little bit, so it might be a bit loud, but we'll start it off.
So I just seen on Fox News that on HBO Max, they're not going to let Elmer Fudd have guns. No.
Is that too loud?
That's
very
loud. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take it back for you, Kev. All right, we'll start over where you're not clipping. Okay, here we go.
So I just seen on Fox News that on HBO Max, they're not going to let Elmer Fudd have guns no more, and that pisses me off. What on flat earth is going on? How dare HBO do more to prevent gun violence than Congress has in a long time? It's like HBO knows that when all these kids go back to school, they're going to see a lot more guns there, so why show it to them at home? And mark my words, it ain't duck season and it ain't wabbit season, because it's gun season. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take all our guns, and as a card-carrying member of the NRA, I know a gun grab when I see one. These cartoons is history. You need to leave them alone. It wasn't enough that they wanted to make the Little Mermaid black. What's next? Are they going to take the Mammy character out of Tom and Jerry? That sounds pretty racist to me. Are they going to make Pepe Le Pew not a sexual predator? Are they going to Me Too Pepe Le Pew? I don't think so. I'm done. That's right, I'm a grown man boycotting cartoons. I'm done with you, HBO Max. If I could afford it, I would have canceled my subscription a long time ago. I'm more of a Disney Plus man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What is that T-shirt? It's intoxicating. Is that 3 Mike Pences? That's a plethora of Mike Pences howling at a full moon.
You can
I don't
buy
know
it
what
there.
that is, but I want.
There you go.
Oh my God. It's nearly Christmas somewhere. Someone needs to buy me that shirt. That's amazing. That's a collection of headless, orbiting Mike Pences howling at the moon. That's amazing. 3 pence moon. That's genius.
Glad you like it.
Yeah, that's quite something.
All right. So I want. There's more of that, but we kind of got the gist. He's very funny.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
that T-shirt is remarkable.
I don't know where this is. Obviously, the people are in front of some sort of like public building or whatever. But yeah, I'll turn this one up a little bit now. So again, from Chris Evans.
That's a fucking sound system, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Someone's got some serious bass going
Yeah,
on there.
that's a
That's
really
lovely.
good bass, yeah. But it is, now I'm seeing this, I feel a little bit hip because there will be a story about some white supremacist, yelling at people or getting arrested and losing, or, getting arrested, they're identified and found out who they are. And people will just put in the comments underneath, "You about to lose your job." That's it. They'll just put music notes around it.
Well, just put that. Yeah, someone needs to GIF this little thing into a 3-second bit. You're about to lose your job. That's it. Done.
That's it. Yeah. So yes, it's been taken up.
Also, it's good that Captain America is screaming.
Yes. All right,
Chris
so
Evans.
I
Never
have
mind.
to.
I do that joke every time you mention Chris Evans.
Yes.
Even though I know it's not that Chris Evans.
Not that one. Yeah. So this
In
person.
the same way that when you say the Poles are X, Y, and Z, I go, "What Polish people?" It's a thing.
Yes, it's a thing you do. It's a repeated joke. Yes, it's an ongoing joke.
Yeah, I'm a boring, unoriginal prick. YouTube, well done.
So this is from Sarah. I think she's in Scotland somewhere. And she said, this person tagged my employer in a tweet to get me in trouble when I called out the horrible things in the Bible. My boss responded back and had my back. So she was talking about morals in your holy book. And so someone found her company and wrote, "At Viking Beard implores bigots. I guess I won't be shopping there anymore." And their boss wrote back, "If you are defending a book that advocates slavery, rape, genocide, infanticide, and incest, then you are morally bankrupt and we don't want your business. Please shop elsewhere."
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's PG Tips, Yorkshire Tea, and I don't even know what Viking Beard Company do, but whatever they are, awesome. If I ever need their services, I will. I'll be more than happy to use their company for that.
Yes, I think it's important to point out that this is in the UK, and like half the people in the UK are not religious. Like it's mostly a secular country, and then Christians, and then like
and even those that are like mostly like, I believe in a God, and maybe I go to church on Christmas.
Yeah, like
that's about it.
Yeah, I said there was a baptism that someone was telling me about what the priest, or sorry, not the priest because it's Anglican church, but the officiant said.
Vicar.
The vicar said, when we got to the point, like, do you renounce Satan? Like, we don't really believe in Satan. When we say Satan, we just mean all the bad things that happen in life.
I remember because I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up Catholic, obviously. I say obviously. I've mentioned it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember them. The same as I was going through that, they changed. It used to say, the God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost was how that one particular prayer ended, and they realized that the ghost element of it wasn't sort of cool, so they changed it to Holy Spirit instead.
Yes.
Because they even just mentioning ghosts, people were like, that's a bit shit. Like, yeah, ghosts, really? Like, we'd rather you not teach that shit to our children, please. Even though I was sent to a religious school, people were like, yeah, don't do ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of
maybe like undead Jesus character, maybe, but ghost. Come on now, come on.
All right, moving up. Oh, yeah, this I thought was a good answer. Before we get to the KKK marching. CBS's Nora O'Donnell, do you believe there is systemic racism in law enforcement? Joe Biden. Absolutely, but it's not just in law enforcement. It's across the board. It's in housing, it's in education, and it's in everything we do. It's real, it's genuine, it's serious. So thank you, Mr. Option on the ballot. I prefer that to what we have right now. Here's some KKK
Indeed.
pricks marching, and the cops are just, there's no tear gas there, no rubber bullets, none of that shit. They're just able to.
Yeah. Well, I retweeted a thing. Someone put this clip out and said the reason they're not throwing tear gas at this crowd is the same reason that you don't see Donald Glover and Childish Gambino in the same room.
Yeah, some of those who work forces, right?
Indeed.
Trump is installing an unqualified donor to be the Postmaster General, which of course is another way to undermine voting by mail. So, just continued fascism.
Well, not just that, but what happened to draining the swamp?
Yeah. Yes.
Pay
so
to
much.
play?
Yep.
Jesus.
I thought it was good that Sadiq Khan is unveiling a new commission to review and improve the diversity of London public landmarks.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, they're going to try and take down some shittier ones, which is good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, not desecrating graves, ideally.
Yes.
If you can,
All right.
Not saying that Sadiq Khan wants to, but I'm just saying there are some people out there who
yes, who might jump to
can
that.
Can we desecrate this philosopher's grave, please?
Yes.
No, you fucking can't.
Yes. No. Go away. Hey, look at this. I've never seen this before. Donald Trump actually got ratioed. Look at that.
Good.
Finally.
Well, if you're going to lie about shit, yeah.
He should be ratioed every
that
fucking
guy clearly
day.
fell over on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he did. 75-year-olds love taking risks with their health by bashing their fucking head on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Dopey prick. I wish Donald Trump would bash his fucking head on the sidewalk.
This is the Black Lives Matter march in Alaska. In fucking Alaska.
What?
Oh, I didn't turn the sound up before. It's native people's music.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that is awesome.
Black Lives Matter protest, Juneau, Alaska.
Oh, Juneau. I was there. Yeah, that's really super awesome cool.
I'm shocked that Alaska's real. I thought that was like a story. Doesn't seem real. A place made almost entirely of ice.
Mostly, yes. Most of the time. More evidence that it's not Antifa or the left. It was white supremacists doing all that stuff. Oh, yeah. And then Chris Evans is
Donald
like...
Trump... No, please.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a liberal, so it is the left.
Oh, right. I forgot. I forgot. Chris Evans, can we please descend on D.C. and chant this outside the White House after we vote on Election Day?
Oh, that would be sexy.
That would be good. Yes, so from Psychopomp Gecko, I see Michael Tracy's been hanging out at Jacob Wall's hipster coffee shop.
What's he saying?
Hearing reports that white journalists complaining about a lack of diversity, newsroom diversity at extremely progressive media outlets are being asked by POC colleagues to give up their jobs on the condition that blacks be hired or at least donate their salaries. So far, no takers. Yeah, I'm sure. And
where did you hear this exactly, Michael?
Yep. Which gave me an opportunity to dig through the archives and drag out this little gem from 2019. You want to read it out? I don't know if you can.
It says, did you hear about that Jacob Wall? Oh, yeah, that idiot is going to prison. Yeah. I mean,
and there
it's nice, but my name's Kevin, so I don't know why you did this drawing on the cup. You usually just write my name. That's very strange. See what I did?
Yes.
I made it surreal. Ooh.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I thought this was great. Could we be looking at an army of Antifa super soldiers genetically engineered to be old and fall over easily?
Yes. As CEO of Antifa, I can confirm that is our new tactic, to employ old people to fall over.
Yes.
And that will bring about world communism.
This one here from Nancy, I thought I'll let you read this out because it has a similar feel to what we saw earlier.
Okay. Nancy Pelosi was asked if she's embarrassed the KKK were once members of the Democratic Party. Of course we're embarrassed Donald Trump was a Democrat for similar reasons. I mean, I garbled that, but hopefully you understand. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to tweet out a thing, because Trump tweeted out, well, no, Trump didn't because it was spelled correctly, but one of his staffers tweeted out on his account, those who forget history are doomed to repeat it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I felt like retweeting that with the comment, yes, which is why I'm never going to allow Republicans to forget that you existed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. 5 years from now, we'll see where we are. Hey, remember that thing we watched about racism? That the Sesame Street people did? And it kind of like made us all really soft in the hearts.
Oh, yeah. No, I just made me think, Elmo, you're an ignorant prick.
Oh, yeah,
The
you
fuck
did
is
have
wrong
that
with you?
idea. Yes. Well, Tucker Carlson was mad, but for different reasons. So should we see why he's white boy mad?
Well, I can only imagine it's racial.
Oh, of course it is. Okay.
Look. It's a children's show. Got that, Bobby? America is a very bad place, and it's your fault. So no matter what happens, no matter what they do to you when you grow up, you have no right to complain. That's the message, and it starts very young.
So, yeah, he's starting to drop.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yep.
It was a nice little bit about, like, racism's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking? Whatever they do to you, you can't complain.
Yep. But who is the they in that sentence?
Jews.
Oh, black people in this case.
No, he's not blaming them, is he? Well, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean.
Well, and the Jews, yeah, I suppose.
Well,
from Tucker's perspective, why is the? Well, I mean, it's good that advertisers are dropping him, but after all the shit that's gone through, why is anyone advertising with him?
Yeah.
He literally said that immigrants were dirty in America. Like, come on now.
Yep. And this is, again, like, you have any critique of racism and white supremacy, like people who are internalized white supremacists will jump up and over exaggerate their offense because a little bit of ground is conceding that the system is fucked up.
Yeah. Well, he did. I mean, I was tempted when he there was last a thing about the Columbus statue in like 2017 when he just started becoming big on Fox or whatever. His sort of transition into full Nazi mode had begun.
Yeah.
And he was going on about the Columbus statue and going on about it was disease that killed all of those people. And they just wanted to do a historical bitch slap on him. Because it's not true. There wasn't an outbreak of European. Well, no, not just that, but even if we say the fact that it was disease absolves them of sin. Even if we do that, that still doesn't absolve Columbus, because Columbus was recalled and imprisoned by the Spanish crown in 1500, and there wasn't an outbreak of Western disease until the smallpox outbreak in 1518, over 10 years after he died.
Okay.
So no, he slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people. It was not disease. But anyway, I didn't do the video in the end because I'm a lazy bastard, but there we go. I'll do it again. Ba-ba-dum, boom. Boom. Another brick bites the dust.
Yeah, so that was from Steve Shive's recording. Yeah. Karl Marx again.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Go ahead.
Wasn't a slave trader, wasn't an imperialist, and that. Yeah, I literally tweeted out, I did a 3-point thing about he wasn't a slaver, he wasn't an imperialist, and that's a headstone.
Yes.
That's not a fucking statue.
Yeah.
It's as headstones go, it's ornate. It's a big thing. Although, to be honest, he didn't do that. His followers put that up, obviously. But that's a headstone. That's the resting place of a human being. Like, you don't like Karl Marx. Well done. This is essentially right-wing virtue signaling.
Yes.
Oh, well, look, I hate Karl Marx. Okay, good for you. I don't give a fuck. It's still a resting place of a human being. Leave it alone. But if people had dug up the corpse of Edward Colston, I'd have gone, whoa, come on now. That's too much. Yeah. They tore down a statue affecting nothing. Well, affecting no, person, right? Anyway, it's just stupid. It's fucking graveyard.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Really?
By the way, if you're ever in London, you should definitely go and visit Highgate, because there are loads of really interesting historical characters there. Though dead, but, historic.
New York State Assembly voted to repeal a law that shielded police disciplinary records from public view. The state Senate had passed it earlier and it was heading over to Cuomo, who's, of course, going to sign it. So,
Awesome.
This is it. Conservative white dude listening to Rage Against the Machine and thought, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, was directed at, like, their mom or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, this is cute. If you just look... who's out for a little bike ride or walk or whatever.
I tagged you into this. Yeah.
Yeah, Aries
yeah.
the cat.
Yeah, it's just look at that. I'd love to do that with Rory, but he would fucking kill me.
Yeah, leap
He
out
would
and
not
be
down
gone.
for that at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, NPR has reviewed court documents of 51 individuals facing federal charges in connection with the unrest. As of Tuesday morning, none is alleged to have links to the Antifa movement. 0 out of 51. Bill Barr, fuck you.
Well, that's because, as the CEO of Antifa, I can reveal that we've cleverly hidden all of their links to the Antifa super soldier terrorisms.
Through your credit card company.
We run everything. Yeah, we run everything. So,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, we did that one already.
Whilst you were blaming the Jews, it was actually the Antifa super soldiers all the time. Jesus.
The whole time.
Who'd have thunk it?
Well, I don't know that it's actually going to happen, but there are a group of lawmakers drafting a resolution to take the Confederate emblem off the Mississippi state flag. And we'll see where that goes.
Yep. And again, there's no way that should ever have been allowed. But yeah, I'm glad it might be changing at least.
Tulsa mayor said cops are shooting fewer black people than they should be. Now that person apparently came back and said, I never said that, but just again, you're gonna lose your job. Oh yeah, another one. We talked about this a couple shows ago. The GOP House Speaker in Pennsylvania is resigning after Brian Sims exposed him for hiding from Democrats that a GOP rep had coronavirus. Some of the Republicans even quarantined themselves, and yet they never told the Democratic colleagues.
So essentially, I don't know if it necessarily falls within the legal restrictions, but that's essentially attempted murder.
Yeah, it's biological warfare, basically.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
So, the resigning. You did lose your job. Oh,
good.
This is great. Roy Blunt talking about the majority in November. Wrong side of the video. Probably won't work now. Doesn't matter. All he did is say this dumbass thing. November's a lot farther in the future than impeachment is in the past.
What?
Yeah. Question. Are you concerned about holding on to the majority? Oh, it's a lot farther in the future than impeachment is in the past.
You're a fucking idiot. This is how a country starts to crumble when you elect fucking garbage bags like this.
Yeah.
Just morons. Literally, you might as well elect a fucking house brick. At least it wouldn't do damage. It would just sit there gathering dust. It would be less deleterious to America to elect fucking vegetables.
Oh my god, this next one. Okay, so apparently Trump's legal team demanded an apology from CNN because they aired a poll showing that Joe Biden was winning or in the lead. This actually happened. Yes.
Who are the snowflakey people now?
So this is the official response from CNN's general counsel to the Trump's legal team letter demanding an apology.
They should have just said, fuck off. Just go away. And no, obviously we're not going to apologise, you dickheads.
So, dear Miss Ellis, this response to your letter dated June 9th, 2020. To my knowledge, this is the first time in its 40-year history that CNN has been threatened with legal action because an American politician or campaign did not like CNN's polling results. To the extent that we have received legal threats from political leaders in the past, they have typically come from countries like Venezuela or other regimes where there is little respect for a free and independent media. CNN is well aware of the reputation of John McLaughlin and McLaughlin and Associates. In 2014, his firm famously reported Eric Cantor was leading his primary challenger Dave Bratt by 34 points, only to have him lose by 11 points, a 45-point swing. The firm currently has a CD rating from 35.
It's within.
Yeah.
It's within the 20. It's within the 20-point margin of error, so it's fine, Krista. Come on.
The firm currently has a CD rating from 538. In any event, McLaughlin was able to evaluate...
Actually, no, that's still... I did the joke, 20-point either way. It still isn't, because it's 45.
No, it's 45, yeah.
So even my ridiculous number still wasn't... It still wasn't within the margin of error.
I was just gonna skip over that and get right back to the letter.
Yeah, no, sorry, brain fart.
Yeah, that's all right.
Apologies. They were so wrong, I couldn't overestimate them.
That's how wrong they were.
Yeah.
In any event, McLaughlin was able to evaluate and criticize CNN's most recent polling because CNN is transparent and publishes its methodology along with its polling results. Because of this, McLaughlin was free to publish his own critique of CNN's analysis and share his criticisms across the United States media landscape. That's how free speech works. It's the American way. Your letter is factually and legally baseless. It is yet another bad faith attempt by the campaign to threaten litigation to muzzle speech it does not want voters to read or hear. Your allegations and demands are rejected in their entirety. Yours very truly, David Vigilante, I guess. But yeah, that was totally a great letter, I thought.
Yeah. And it does, again, like regimes that don't care for free speech.
Mm-hmm.
Like the American one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like the dude in the White House right now. Yeah. That dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Florida.
Okay. Just a dude and an alligator. Going into just a store or something?
Yeah, I
What?
think it's
just
it's a key lime pie shop. I don't know.
The fucking alligator wants some pie. The story is old as time itself. That one, yeah. That's amazing. The dude was like, "So, Ali, do you want some pie?" Yeah, I could go for some pie, Dave. Yeah, come on then.
Florida man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Genius.
Oh, we have the NASCAR thing already. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, this is amazing. I always like to keep up with people, even if I like falling out with them, just to see what they're up to. You know, I'm a people person. I'm a people watcher. So, Dick Coughlin, formerly a reasonable-ish human being.
Before he thought Tim Pool wasn't a grifter.
I mean, politically, he literally said that Tim Pool wasn't a grifter in this very same thing, which I was just going to wash out. I just thought that's dumb, but whatever. And then he brought up a specific person in the live stream, and I thought,
well, two specific people, actually.
Well, two specific people, yes. Now, Kristi, we know you're the worst person in the world, but is there maybe someone who's a worse person?
I think that there's at least competition. You know, I think that when it comes to my crown, obviously the Jeff Holiday vote is so important. That's a huge block.
Big demographic.
It's it's like the Eurovision block voting situation.
Yeah, he's like a casting vote situation. Like, you need, if you've not got the Jeffster on your side, you're in trouble.
Yeah. But he does. So yeah, there might be other contenders. People might want to pick. But do you want to set that up anymore? Or should I just hit play?
So Dick Coughlin compared some people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be broad about it. And I recorded it, and it amazing.
All right, here we go.
I'll take Richard Spencer over Kristi.
Oh. It's really, really soft, so I gotta really whack this one up.
It's really soft. Yeah, I filmed it on my phone.
Okay.
So I wasn't aware of volume levels.
That's fine.
I'll take Richard Spencer over Kristi Winters any day of the fucking week. You know.
Well, as I said, he can have him. That's
leftism. That's leftism right there.
Yeah.
I'll take a literal Nazi.
Yeah.
Over Kristi Winters because I don't like her.
And what did I do? What was a horrible thing I did when people who were women or femme, kind of non-binary people, came forward to say he made me feel very sexually uncomfortable and he crossed some boundaries. And I said he was being skeezy and he should knock that shit off. And apparently that makes me worse than Richard Spencer.
Yeah. But you can tell he respects women because rather than dealing with you, he'd rather take the guy who punched his pregnant girlfriend down the stairs.
Oh yeah, because he's totally
a respecter of the Woms, old Dick.
Yeah,
Dickster.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The same.
Just thought we'd bring that.
Yeah, that was just funny. That's just funny.
Trash.
Yeah.
Utter trash.
What happened?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he used to be like not a complete twat. And
Yeah.
he is. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Had some funny takes. Hey, Papa John's Pizza will no longer advertise on Tucker Carlson.
Oh God, when you lose Papa John's,
Exactly.
fucking hell.
Exactly.
It's just Chick-fil-A and the fucking, I don't know, the 700 Club or something.
That's all that's left. I appreciated this from Nicola Sturgeon. We shouldn't have statues of people who profited from the slave trade without, at the very least, a way of making the public know who these people were. So,
yeah, like some people, in the past they've tried to have like in certain places like New Orleans, they've tried to add like extra plaques to a monument so they don't have to take it down and wind up the fucking racist pricks. But also to like actually show, oh, these people did some bad shit. But it doesn't really do anything, because when you walk past the statue, do you stop and read it very often?
Not too often, but I think in this case, it's good to open up the dialogue and get more people in the community involved and raise awareness and get more buy-in. But yeah, there's no real reason to just put up a plaque and leave up a slave trader. No.
Exactly. That's my point. But anyway, I understand why people in certain situations, because you do, as a democratic leader, you do have to have the people on side to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got like, 90% against the thing, it's difficult to do the thing.
And also, she's saying here, there's a role.
I can understand why people try to find like a throughway or whatever.
Yeah, and she's saying here there's a role for the Scottish government to lead that discussion, because I would imagine there's a lot of local. It's not like the Scottish government can just come in and start pulling up statues. There are probably city council, local ordinances that put those things up and control those kinds of things. So, yeah. Also, no.
And not just that, but in terms of devolved powers, I don't know if they can pass laws prohibiting things like that.
Oh, right.
I don't know if that's a.
Yeah,
because it's very we've got a sort of pseudo federal thing where the different Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland have their own governments that have some powers to differing degrees. The Scottish government is the most powerful of the devolved powers, but I don't know if they have jurisdiction over that. And like you say, there are local councils who literally run those places. So, although very few of those will be Tory, so they probably won't have too much problem if they wanted to get rid of them from doing so. But I don't know. Anyway. But it's good. It's good that there's a national conversation taking place.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Yeah, the influencers are returning. Nature is healing.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay. I'm just going to call this the dinosaur erotica rule.
Fish erotica in this case.
Yeah, just a little bit weird. Nothing wrong. They're not hurting anyone. It's just weird.
I thought this was good news. In the last 22 hours, the Atlanta Police Department says 2 more officers have been fired from the incident where 2 college teens were pulled from their car while being tased. Do you remember watching that? That black couple? Where the white couple, the white lady was like, hey, I'm a Becky. And then like people behind them getting assaulted. Yep. Yeah. Another 2 gone.
Indeed. Well, that's good, but I mean, I'd like to see criminal prosecution as well. But for now, at least, firing is better than nothing.
Yeah. So this is from Vote Vets, which is a pretty progressive organization. They're anti-Trump. Yeah, blocked by Donald Trump. Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas, named after Confederate General John Bell Hood. Hood commanded the Texas Brigade and was known for his recklessness. His career was marred by his failure to lead larger commands and defeats in the Atlanta and the Franklin-Nashville campaigns. So, why are we? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ultimately, they all failed. Yeah, which is nice.
Yes, which is why should we have military?
Always worth remembering that.
Yes, but why should we have forts named after losers who were traitors? Again about
exactly. Yeah, ideally, you want it after like victorious generals, really.
Yes.
You big up the ones that could actually fucking win. Those guys.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So we were this is actually, we talk about the corporate messaging and everything, but again with the PG tips and Yorkshire tea, I think this is, I don't know if I want to do the full 115, but here's this new Procter & Gamble ad on race and anti-racism.
Yeah, just For the person, sorry,
Mhm.
the person who lolled at John Bell Hood. Yeah, that Americans won't get Bell as a reference there. Christy might do
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
lived in Britain, but Bell Hood would
Yeah,
be.
and the hood too.
Okay.
Your hood.
And I suppose John to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
yeah.
Toilet is his name. Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Look,
Yeah, do you want me to stop this or just let it run while you talk over it?
Oh well, no, I was just going to say if this is going to be a serious thing.
Yeah.
I was just going to do the silly joke. Just remind people about it's in the same way that they had Councillor Bollock. Americans wouldn't. Get
Oh,
why
you're
that
still
was
on
hilarious.
that. Okay. Okay.
I will never forget Congresswoman Bollock ever.
If trying to get Toss
She was
Bollock
amazing.
off. Yeah, Toss Bollock off the ballot.
Who is my favorite Russian composer?
Okay.
Toss Bollock off. Yeah.
Okay, we ready now? Focused.
Don't just snigger at my dad jokes, okay? Outrageous.
All right. So. All right, let's start over from the beginning. Because, yes.
With inverted tongue, from whence does fulfillment come? And I expel from this mortal shell, we're at death the living now. Though you say what I can't see, cry to me, and I do.
Pretty good. Pretty good ad. Very powerful.
Yeah. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. Okay, and then there's this from account I follow called Aries. This is the conservative radio host, Sonny Johnson, referencing Trump's past photos with Snoop Dogg. So we'll just watch this.
Right.
If we looked at like the photos of you before you became president, and you were taking pictures with Snoop, and you were taking pictures with all the icons of hip hop.
Fuck you, Donald Trump, and everything you stand for.
If we looked at
that was it.
Yeah, he's really not a fan of
Nope.
Trump.
Nope. He's going to vote
Just-
this time,
yeah.
apparently, for the first time, and I don't know how long Snoop's going to vote. So.
But he lives in California, so it doesn't really matter. But okay, I mean, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still good. I'm not
yeah,
saying I'm not
as a role
dissing
model, he
Snoop.
should, people who's like maybe in that way, people who are like also checked out, like, well, Snoop didn't vote, so what does it matter? Like I'm not the only one. Yes. Also, apparently he might have been stopped because of a criminal record for a while, but I don't know all of his bio, so just FYI.
Well, it's been thought for a while he may have been involved in a gangland murder as a kid, but he was never convicted. So.
Oh,
who
I don't know
knows?
about that. My Snoop
Well,
knowledge isn't that deep.
That's just well, I don't know that much. I just read about that and I thought that's hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you grow up in LA as as a black person, there's some fucked up shit goes down.
Yeah,
It's
and
just,
your name might get attached to it.
Poverty. Yeah, exactly. Poverty is a fucked up thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have some semblance of equality and decency towards everybody. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
So, and speaking of, Coco here looks like she's flashing some of her Karen power. She tweeted out, saw a dude walking down the street wearing a Confederate flag on his shirt, and I told him he looked stupid and to eat a dick. I feel so much better now.
Did she explain it was because of the Confederate flag? Or did she just think,
I don't know.
was she having a go? What the fuck? That was random. Okay.
I love this line from...
Maybe I will go and eat a dick then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hadn't thought about that. I'll put that on my list today. James Fell tweeted out to all the NASCAR...
After I take my crocodile for some key lime pie.
Yes,
obviously.
yes. James Fell writes, to all the NASCAR fans misplacing their excrement over the loser flag ban, the Obama administration lasted twice as long as the Confederacy did.
True. That is true.
Oh yeah, so the godless Iowan who had some coworkers that they thought that there was going to be like Antifa being bussed over, and they gave us an update. So, I think my dumb coworkers were concerned for nothing, because with all those busloads of Antifa that were supposedly coming in, I haven't heard a single siren tonight. Or maybe Antifa runs the town now? Both are possible, I guess.
Well, as the CEO of Antifa, I can say it's because the people of Iowa were so cautious and they got wind of our plans that we decided to not go to Iowa that night. So their concern was justified, clearly.
Yeah. You have really good on-the-ground intelligence when people know you're...
We do. Well, because we've got George Soros agents everywhere.
Oh yeah, by the way, so Haruka, the reason Dick thinks I'm a two-faced is because he really was like skeezing on women and femme non-binary people and making them feel uncomfortable. And I talked about the fact that he invited me to this XXX feed on Twitter, which I thought was the stuff that he would put on Twitter that he couldn't put up on YouTube. And I put up a picture, without actually like really discussing it, of himself ejaculating on the Twitter feed. That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting. So, yeah. And I kind of said, I didn't really like this. I believe that he would skis on people because he's got boundary issues. So that was a couple years ago. We've pretty much not really. He's obviously quite bitter about it. So whatever.
Yeah, because that was apropos of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't been brought up in the conversation at all. Because I was watching it, I was reading the chat. No one had mentioned you. There wasn't anything, and then all of a sudden, boom! I tried to take Richard Spencer over Kristi Winters, and I just thought, wow.
Well, there goes your credibility.
You are too far gone. You are too. Well,
Yeah.
he didn't really have any to begin with, but especially attacking Captain Andy like he did. Which
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, because Captain Andy, there was a whole. Garrett was on this. Yeah, it's all coming back now. There was a hangout. Garrett was on it. Captain Andy was on it. Some other blissful melancholy might have made a video about how Dick Kaufman make her feel uncomfortable. And it was a whole sort of like, Dick, you are out of line, and we need to talk about your behavior in the YouTube community. And he basically like circulated stuff about Captain Andy that was false, with like accusing Captain Andy of sending unwanted dick pics, which was completely untrue, and he had to eventually erase it and take it down. So, yeah, that's the story there.
Yeah. So he didn't have any credibility, but I just thought that's finally like boom, like there's no coming back from that, really. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe he could have a road to Damascus moment. But...
Yeah. But seriously, picking Richard Spencer over me. Okay.
Yeah.
So more good news. Pelosi is wants to take down the a dozen Confederate statues. And of course, Kevin McCarthy, fucking right wing. Yeah.
Possibly some pricks bite the dust.
Yeah. There are more of them on the list. And Kevin McCarthy's out there going, no, the states have to take back their own statues. Congress has no power or ability to decide what statues go up in its own fucking workplace. Fuck you, Kevin McCarthy, white supremacist piece of shit.
What?
Sit down. Yeah,
hang on. So Congress doesn't control Congress.
Well, that's what he's saying.
This is his argument.
Yeah.
That's the grown-up human being, Kevin McCarthy, arguing that point.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, what's the point of its existence then, if it can't even control its own building?
He doesn't have an existence.
No.
All right. Oh yeah, I thought this was kind of random. Saying calm the fuck down, we're going nuts is probably not the most effective strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Piers Morgan. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, on a plane that's crashing, screaming "We're all gonna die."
Yes.
Probably not.
Not gonna help.
Not the best way to be like chilling people out, really.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong, but yeah, as a strategy, not great.
We already did.
We already did this one.
Yep, Uni Redding. Oh God, this guy. Ohio GOP lawmaker asks if the colored population is hard hit by COVID-19 because they don't quote, wash their hands as well, unquote. Are you fucking kidding me, you racist piece of shit, Steve Huffman from Tip City? How are you still in it? I hope you don't even have a job anymore. I hope you're about to lose your job in November.
Hopefully. But also, Tip City.
Yeah, Tip City.
Okay.
Yeah, Bell, Hood.
Yeah. I wonder if
dick names.
I wonder if John Cockend was from Tip. I don't know.
Little helmet.
But yeah, exactly. But yeah, Steve Huffman, you're garbage. I hope you get voted out.
You're a racist piece of shit, Steve.
Fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought you'd enjoy this. You do this one, Kevin. This is another fun for you.
Okay. Someone on Facebook just suggested changing Fort Benning. Yeah, is that an L? Because the T in anyway. Sorry, changing Fort Benning to Fort Sherman and installing, wait for it, an external flame monument on post. That's pretty goddamn funny, right?
An eternal flame.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, eternal, not external. Eternal flame. Yeah, that works for me, definitely.
Okay.
Because I presume that's because Fort Benning is near or in Atlanta.
I don't know where it is, but I think just to make it.
I presume that's the joke because they set Atlanta on fire. I presume that's the joke, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, type in Fort Benning. Let's find out where Fort Benning is.
Okay.
Oh, you're so like you don't even want to type Fort Benning.
I know I'm so lazy.
Lazy motherfucker.
Then I went to print it instead.
Well, you didn't have to go that far, Jesus.
Yeah, it's Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
So that's the joke then.
Yeah,
that's
also Atlanta. Yes, the eternal flame. Ooh. Oh, and did you hear about this absolute fuck you to all African Americans and Black people? That Trump is going to hold a rally on Juneteenth in Tulsa, where there was.
What's Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is the 19th of June. It's the date. I had to look this up because I don't. We should have like Black History Month in June around like Juneteenth, because Juneteenth. This is unbelievable. I have to actually just like read it out because I want to make sure I get it right. Unbelievable. So what happened was the Emancipation Proclamation was issued on January 1st of 1863. But it wasn't read out until June in Texas. So on June 19th, 1865, the Emancipation, which had been issued in January of 63, was read to the enslaved slaves by Texas governor. It's the last state to have the proclamation announced after the end of the Civil War. So,
right,
it was like the Juneteenth is celebrated as like the end of sort of the proclamation being read. So the end of slavery in Texas and things.
Okay.
Right. So that's actually like
something there.
Yeah. And in 1921 in Tulsa, there was a massive massacre and destruction of Black people's assets and their lives and everything that happened. And Trump is going to Tulsa on Juneteenth Day to do one of those fucking MAGA rallies.
What a surprise. It's garbage. I mean, I've run out of words to describe how fucking evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Kamala
literally getting fucking Steve Miller, the white nationalist, to write your speech on race
relations.
That tells you everything. That I can't think of a bigger fuck you to Black America. Like, he doesn't care about you. The fuck? He actively
No.
despises you.
No, yeah, Kamala Harris has just said it. Like, this isn't a wink to white supremacists. He's throwing them a welcome home party.
Yeah.
These aren't dog
absolutely.
whistles
Fucking
anymore.
despicable. Well, did you see? I mean, this one might have been a mistake, but there's so many mistakes. Who knows? He described the Secret Service. He shortened it to SS.
Yes, I did see that.
Like you, I mean, either that's monumentally evil, or you're the most spectacularly historically ignorant cunt in the world. Either way, you shouldn't be president.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I mean, you're not qualified for your role.
Precisely. Yeah, he's.
And then again, what role has he ever had for which he was qualified?
He was never qualified.
Like he's never had to do anything to get in.
Which is why he's so bad at running everything he touches. Yeah, so Tulsa Department, this guy is a racist, so already. Big problems. Oh, continuing. As Tim Wise says, I think it's right. No removing.
I was just going to say, I wonder why Trump's going there then. It's very strange.
Yeah, whoa. He's so anti-racist. Oh, wait.
Oklahoma's not coming out well tonight. Just saying.
Nope. Tim Wise, no removing Confederate statues won't solve the reality of the racial inequality. Yes, it's just symbolic, but so are the statues themselves. Leaving them up sends a message, as does taking them down. The question is, which message is better? So he's basically, like taking down statues is not enough. Can't end racism taking down statues.
Yeah, exactly. And the people who make that point, like, oh, if you take them down, that's not going to stop racial inequality. Ask them, well, what do you think we should do to stop racial inequality?
Yeah. Yeah,
because I assure you, they've never thought that far, because they have no interest in actually stopping racial inequality, because it's not about that. It's never about that.
Yeah.
For them, anyway.
So from formerly highly critical, she's talking about that Walmart does a lot of low-key racist shit in black neighborhoods. So yeah, they've announced in 2020 they're not going to lock up African American beauty products anymore.
Well, hang on. You're going to have to explain what that means.
Okay, you know how like when
up.
you go into a shop right now, in a corner shop in Britain, and the cigarettes behind you are locked because they want to control, make sure they know who gets to them?
Yeah.
Well, they were putting African American makeup behind like locked counters.
But not the white stuff.
Right.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, I mean, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but that makes me sick.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I mean, how fucking pathetically just petty. How shit.
Yep.
Fuck you, man.
The policy has been...
I've never even heard about this before. This is... What the fuck?
Yep. The policy had been the subject of a racial discrimination lawsuit that was dropped last year, but the practice has come under renewed scrutiny, and rightly so. And then they're saying, people are saying... Oh, yeah. They had the Shea moisturizers they locked up by the Marlboros. Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's... God damn it.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of it. I'd never even considered it because, I mean, makeup, as you might be able to tell, not really my bag.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, yeah, fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know what to say about that.
Yep.
I'm dumbfounded by the brazenness of that racism. How can that even be legal?
That's why it was a subject of a racial discrimination, but of course it takes money.
Yeah.
And who's got a lot of money to spend in court to waste your time? Fucking Walmart's.
Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so shit. Like, I just feel down now. I just like...
Well, I can cheer you up a little bit.
Like I've been punched in the gut.
Sorry.
Please do, Kristi.
Well, one, they
You've
ended
got cats.
They ended the
Give
policy.
Me cats.
How about this? Fox, Tucker Carlson has lost Disney, Papa John's, and T-Mobile as his sponsors. Also, here's something to cheer you up. Neo-Nazi Richard Spencer's lawyer is currently arguing before the court.
No, Kristi.
Yeah, better person than me.
Person that
Coughlin.
The person that Richard Coughlin thinks is better than you.
Yes.
Yeah, neo-Nazi Richard Spencer. Yeah, go on.
Yes.
Go on.
Neo-Nazi Richard Spencer, much beloved by Dick Coughlin, is currently his lawyer is currently arguing before the court that he should be allowed to withdraw as counsel because Spencer has not paid him or communicated with him. Spencer is a defendant in the Integrity for USA's Charlottesville lawsuit. So.
Well, yeah, of course he should. Well, hang on. Are there conditions under which he's not allowed to stop being his lawyer?
Yes, yeah. Once you're like somebody's attorney, it's you kind of like it takes a lot to like not be somebody's attorney. And my understanding
Does it? I
because
I
it's
try and
disruptive to
avoid
the
courts. I don't like them.
I think it has something to do with the due process thing and all that kind of
I
stuff.
suppose.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But if you're not being paid or communicated with, then how are you even really his counsel at all?
Well, that's why you go before the court and say, hey, I'm outsies because, look, he's not paying me. It's not just like I'm quitting. I'm not just leaving him without a defense. He's actually like, starting this.
Yeah, exactly. He's not paying me, but he's not communicating. Look, I can't even do a thing that he wants me to do because he won't even contact me. So how can I defend him?
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
So she goes on to say, neo-Nazi Richard Spencer says the lawsuit has been, quote, financially crippling to him for a long time. Good.
Lol.
He says it's hard to raise money because he's been deplatformed from a number of sites. Quote, I am in a very difficult situation in terms of getting funds, unquote.
Can we
this
just...
song. I love this song.
Let's back up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can we just back up because of deplatforming from a number of sites? But deplatforming doesn't work, Kristi.
No.
We know this. It doesn't work.
Clearly
it just
not.
makes them stronger than they could ever be before.
Mm-hmm. So
anyway, but
yeah.
That's made me feel slightly better.
Yeah. So he's broke, and even his attorney wants nothing to do with him.
Good.
So, yeah. Yes, the general guy who walked out for the photo op, he basically said, I shouldn't have been there. It's a mistake.
Right. Yeah. I saw this, right. And that's true. And it's good that he's done that. But firstly, well, a number of issues. Firstly, it's 10 days later. You only just realised that this was a fuck up 10 days later. Seems like a bit of arse covering in my eyes. But anyway, secondly, he says that he doesn't want people to think that the American military takes part in civilian politics.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, your military used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse peaceful protesters so that the president could have a photo opportunity outside a church. Don't fucking dare try and patronize people and say you don't have a role in civilian politics. That's a lie, and you know it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. We're getting near the end of mine, so this is a good point from Yared. The Confederacy didn't disappear. It was defeated militarily. Then it hid in our laws, in our economy, in our law enforcement, in our judicial system, in our politics, and in our culture. But, yep, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because understandably, they wanted to try and create like a united nation again. But they should have executed a lot more of those people. They really should have done. But I mean, it's 150 years later, so it's sort of moot as a point. But generally speaking, they should have put to death a lot more of those traitors.
Well, I think what it really made it the worst was the fact that when the North just walked away, they kind of did some initial reforms or oversaw it, kind of like an occupying force, and then just walked away from it and let all the racist whites just reimagine slavery, but without the actual legal structure, but just the economic and the political and the criminal and everything else, you know? And so it was a failing of whites, in the North for basically giving whites in the South the ability to continue being as racist as the whites in the North were, but just felt better about themselves. The baby gates coming down.
And to
go ahead.
To the person in the chat says Dick Coughlin's responses to Mike Voritz were classic is true. Yeah, I'm not suggesting Dick Coughlin didn't do anything good.
Like 5 years ago?
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
His video, specifically the rapiest community, is genuinely brilliant satire. I will say that absolutely. And it's really odd, given his skeeziness, that he would feel so passionately to make that. But it's still an excellent piece of work. It sort of takes the piss out of the concept of atheism versus religion debates, but about rape and how they're both awful on rape. And it's like I say, it's brilliant satire. And one line made me laugh so much at the time. He's going on about there was a war between Jizrael and Palestine. is amazing as a line. That's genius. So it's a real shame to see him become garbage. Yes, but even so, there's some good stuff. Anyway, yeah, sorry. So the baby cage is coming down. So it was up for like a week.
Yeah. And then
that's a responsible use of money from the small government party there. I see.
Yeah, once again.
Jesus.
You mentioned it before about the SS.
Yeah, what a dick. Like
bragging. Our great National Guard troops took care of the area around the White House, and it could hardly believe how easy it was. A walk in the park, the protesters, agitators, anarchists, Antifa, and others were handled very easily by the Guard, DC Police, SS, and SS. Great job.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Just also, they were peaceful protesters, by the way. Like wasn't even as if that group were rioting. Which, in that case, just cancel the photo up. But whatever, they weren't. They were peaceful protesters.
He's still getting crap for that. I think it's going to last. It's going to stick with him for a while.
Well, there's no doubt. Moderates in America. It took them a fucking long time, but eventually they go in. Yeah, this guy's kind of. It's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, it is incredibly depressing the extent to which Trump can basically say, "Look, I can be a racist, sexist, whatever else, but if people feel like they're making money, they're willing to throw everybody else under the bus, just to make sure that they've got enough money in their pockets for the next 4 years."
Yeah,
that's
yeah. But I mean, either way, for now, just the immediate thing you need to do is excise the cancer.
Yes. Get him out.
And yes, I am referring to the President of the United States as cancer, because that's precisely what he is.
So another little thing here from Chris Maloney talking about being raised in this sort of white supremacy culture. Years back, I had a discussion with my Mississippi born and bred father-in-law about the Civil War. He promptly corrected me about the War of Northern Aggression, which was about states' rights.
If you get a chance, I'd tweet out one video by him. Is superb up and coming history YouTube guy called Atunshay Films. Superb video maker who will go far, I'm absolutely sure. He does a fantastic series called Checkmate Lincolnites, which is him, because he was formerly a living historian at the Gettysburg battle site for a number of years. So he's got like the full costumes.
Oh,
right?
Wow, cool.
And so he does this thing where he dresses as it's two of him on the screen. So he does that thing where you put the two videos together, and it's him dressed as a Confederate and him dressed as a Union soldier discussing the Civil War through the medium of the Johnny Reb character reading out Confederate hate comments that have been left under his videos about the Civil War and him responding to it. It's so funny. It's so brilliant. And he does one of the episodes is about was it really a war of northern aggression? And I learned quite a few things, because obviously I realized that it wasn't a war of northern aggression in the sense that they attacked Fort Sumter. But I didn't realize they'd been attacking and occupying federal arsenals and batteries and things like that for months beforehand.
Oh, they're running their own little,
they could have at any point.
Operation.
They didn't even need to wait for Fort Sumter. They could have easily gone. They could have easily gone in way before then. But obviously, Fort Sumter was like the spark or whatever. But yeah, so no, it wasn't a war of northern aggression at all. You fucking idiots. Sorry, it wasn't.
No, it's they reinvent their history to make themselves the victims to justify the oppression of other people.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but to it obviously is that, but they also had to come up with another justifying cause, because their whole point was we need to have slavery, otherwise servile insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that didn't happen, they had to be like, oh, well, it wasn't. It was states' rights, honest. Because they did a doomsday prophecy that never came true. So they had to pretend that slaughter, that fucking pointless soaking of American fields with blood of innocents, was worth something when it wasn't.
Yeah, they had to reinvent
It was
a new
pointless.
the lost cause narrative.
Yeah. Most other countries in the world just went, should we stop doing slavery? Yeah, go on then, pass that law. Boom, done. Anyway.
Yeah. Still with the slavery thing, the Lincoln Project also went completely guns blazing at Trump. So this is a bunch of, former Republicans who have put out a statement. We never imagined...
But this is not fair, because he's the president of the party of Lincoln. So clearly, checkmate.
Yeah.
Done. Finished. Fake news.
They're speaking in the name of Lincoln, I guess, here. Okay, they write.
Yeah.
We never imagined when we named our initiative to defeat the re-election of Donald Trump the Lincoln Project that the president would go as far as honoring the Confederate generals who fought against the United States of America to preserve slavery and uphold white supremacy. For all intents and purposes, Donald Trump today became the Confederacy's second president. We cannot allow this. The Lincoln Project and its allies will be doubling its efforts to protect the U.S. Constitution and this nation by defeating Donald Trump in November and watching Joe Biden take the oath of office next January.
Yeah, that's fair. One slight clarification. I would argue that Woodrow Wilson was the Confederacy's second president, really, and that making Donald Trump the third. If you look into the history of Wilson, he was essentially the popularizer of the Lost Cause narrative, and indeed literally had a screening of The Birth of a Nation at the White House when he was president.
True. Okay, now we have been going for 3 hours, so we have to start cutting back on the history stuff. So,
sorry. Was that getting in the way of your fucking tweet streams here?
Yeah. Oh, we already had this guy. Okay, I'm running out of the will to live. Well, it's only 7 hours. We're pretty close. I'm just gonna screen through and see if there's anything really. Oh, we saw the positives. Black Lives Matter. You already got that one.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great. Data Portdoll gets a little shout out. This is literally the most pathetic thing I've seen that doesn't involve a mixtape. And
his friend, he cancelled his HBO account over temporary removal of Gone with the Wind. Who the fuck cares about Gone with the Wind?
Nobody.
Oh God.
And they took it down and they
Not just that, but have you ever seen two greater examples of not white supremacy, literally, than Steve Ducey and fucking Dave Rubin next to each other?
Yeah, definitely not the superior race. Definitely not.
Yeah, white people. We're not putting our best foot forward here. Jesus.
Oh, I'm really glad we got to do this. We got this far because I thought that this was really beautiful. It actually kind of made me cry a little bit. Native music around a fallen Columbus statue. I don't know what to say. It's extremely cool. So I'm actually I'll make the screen big for this. We can all.
All right.
Like
Can I do
there.
the native song of my people?
Absolutely not.
Ba-ba-dum, boom, boom. Another prick bites the dust.
Okay, you got that out of your system now.
No, but for now it'll do.
Okay. So we'll make way for the native peoples and their expression.
Their actual beautiful expression. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that one. So yeah, I would that little bit cleansing there.
Yeah, that was beautiful, man. This, in terms of symbolism, that's yeah, that needs to happen. That needs to be a thing.
Because
I
the
can't.
statues
Yeah,
are not just about the white people that keep talking about how great they are and wanting to defend them.
well, exactly. Yeah, it's that's the thing. It's not when people put up statues, they're not just putting up a statue to the person. There's something much more behind that. And Christopher Columbus, for centuries, has become literally deified in the form of Columbia. You know, the female goddess form of. Essentially, he's become white supremacy incarnate, albeit he's dead now. But you know what I mean. He's white supremacy made flesh. So when you put up a statue of Christopher Columbus, that doesn't just mean you're honoring an explorer. It means you're literally saying white people are civilized and you fuckers aren't. That's what you're saying. So the fact that that's been torn down and they're dancing on his metaphorical grave, yeah, cool. Okay.
Agreed. Oh yeah, I just appreciated this. No more J.K. Rowling. The world has evolved beyond. Trans people reply with selfies of your cute selves, and it's just a thread of people looking cute. So that was nice.
Awesome. Yeah, Tommy in the chat, you know nothing about Woodrow Wilson. Look into him. He was a phenomenally racist individual. Yeah, he gets the only reason he ever gets mentioned in Europe is because he was the president at the end of the First World War. So his representatives attended. So he attended the Treaty of Versailles negotiations and refused to meet with black representatives whilst there. Yeah, he was an awful human being.
Okay, just some black Twitter posts about black authors on Twitter saying, you know, anti-racism is hip right now, yay, but don't let it be a fad, make it forever. Also talking about white backlash with white progressives, that actually white people say they want to help, but then you tell them what's wrong and then they get offended because they're really not ready to process this shit, and then they blame you for bringing up stuff that made them feel uncomfortable. So this is good. I'll just tweet out this thread because it is worth reading, and I wanted to bring some more attention to it. So he's just talking about his experience. Hey, yeah, LeBron James is fighting voter suppression.
Good. That's awesome.
Yep.
And not just that, but the very same people who are now applauding that NASCAR guy were saying, "Oh, LeBron, shut up and dribble."
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. Shut up and drive, you dumb hick. Okay.
Or just shut up. I don't care if you drive.
Oh, here we go.
Don't fucking bother me.
Yeah. This was the Glinner stuff from before. So this was Vadim, the 4 stages of anger. You want to read it out? I've been talking a lot. My mouth is getting.
Okay. Well, okay. Right. People make a big deal of Harry Potter turning on her, but again, he's not really set this up very well.
No.
Turning on her. Okay. But every single character in the series came from her head. She is Harry, how does that work if you're being anti-trans?
Yeah.
Anyway, she's not just Harry. She's Hermione and Ralph and Dumbledore and everyone else. If you're on her side, you're doing all right. I stand with JKR.
It's not Ralph, by the way.
Oh, fuck.
Ron.
Is it not? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not Ralph.
No, but he did write Ralph. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you meant I'd misread it.
No,
Sorry.
no, you got it right.
Fuck. Okay. Oh, fuck. Ron, I mean. Well, don't fuck Ron, unless Ron's into that. I don't know. Oh, fuck Ron, I mean. Oh, no, he's a kid, isn't it? Oh, Jesus. No, don't fuck Ron.
No, he's a grown-up now. It's fine.
Well, yeah, but the characters are... Anyway.
No, they start off as kids and they grow
fucking
up.
wizard, Kev. Leave it. Jesus. Oh, fuck Ron, I mean, whatever the fuck. She's all of them.
Right.
Okay.
Then we get to this.
So, that's what. Okay, so now that makes. Sorry, someone tweeted that at me, and then underneath wrote, "I finally found someone who knows less about Harry Potter than Kevin." And now that makes sense because I didn't even know it wasn't Ralph. Okay. Daniel Radcliffe can act. I thought quite a good response. I said, "Shut up, Muggle." I thought it was quite nice because that's the only thing I know about Harry Potter.
There you go.
Daniel Radcliffe can act in the same way I can do 4 push-ups. What? Daniel Radcliffe can act in the same way that I can do 4 push-ups. Okay. Punctuation is your friend, Graham, please.
He's supposed to be a writer, right?
Yeah, well, in theory. Okay, but that's, I mean,
Yeah. So like,
Okay. Well, Daniel Radcliffe clearly can act. I mean,
yes,
I
he's
don't know.
getting
He's
paid
not
all over
necessarily
for
the
it.
best actor ever, but yeah, he's done all right. He's certainly getting more work than you are, Graham.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, I mean, coming off anti-anxiety meds, so I don't know how much of it was that, but Posey's video made me cry too. I shake with anger when I see men like Radcliffe presume they can give the word woman away to their fellow men. Okay.
Yeah. What are you doing, Graham? As a man, cis guy, you're out there
Yeah.
policing what is trans,
Yeah.
and then
Not just that, but Emma Watson, a cis woman, and indeed a lesbian. Does she not get to say in any of this? You're just going to
Apparently
speak
not.
over her, Graham.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so Daniel Radcliffe responds to J.K. Rowling tweet on gender identity. He's a traitorous, misogynist piece of shit. Wow. Traitorous. I didn't realize that J.K. Rowling was a country now.
No.
Okay. Interesting. And
So-
if you meant like treacherous or whatever, that might be a thing, maybe. But
Yeah, I guess
okay.
he's a gender traitor or something. I don't know.
No, he's a traitor to the God Queen Empress herself.
Oh, I forgot.
John Kingston Rowlings. I don't know her
just
name.
kidding, because no one can
Joanna.
take this bitch seriously.
Is it Joanna? I don't know. Anyway.
I have no idea. Oh, so yeah, this is the Lincoln Project. They said they were going to drag Trump.
Is someone thirsting over the Lincoln Project? Is that what's happening here?
Well, I just want to say I'm really liking.
The men who followed this flag 150 years ago knew what it meant. Treason against their country. The death of the United States. America defeated the men who followed that flag. Those with honor surrendered and cast it aside forever. So why does it keep showing up today at events supporting Donald Trump? And why does he call the folks who carry it very fine people?
I think there's blame on both sides, but you also had people that were very fine people.
What does it say?
Hang on, pause.
They're all in?
Is Emma Watson not a lesbian? Have I missed?
I don't keep track
I
of
thought
her
she was.
I don't keep track of her sexuality, so I don't.
I thought she came
know
out
if
as gay some time ago, didn't she? Can we check? Can we Google that? Because I've got that wrong.
Well, you Google it.
You're on screen though. I want people to know rather than me just like making it up or whatever.
All right.
I thought she was gay. Type it, is Emma Watson gay? I thought she came out as a lesbian. Have I mixed her up with someone else? Harry Potter star Emma Watson comes out
For trans rights, I think, though.
for trans rights. Okay, but that's not. Yeah, that's not helpful. No offense, gay South Africa, but that's not helpful.
I don't know. I don't see. Well, I can put lesbian too. This is
Not
I
lesbian.
I can't. My nails are. I need to get my nails done. Okay. No.
So do I. I mean, they're all over the place.
She looks to be. Well, I don't know if she's bi, but it looks like she's dating a guy.
Who have I mixed her up with then?
I don't know
I've mixed her up with someone. Apologies.
Katie Lang.
I don't know.
I'm actually I'm happy about
Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah.
Okay. I'm really happy that we're finally taking on this Confederacy issue, and I'm really happy when I see people on the right side of this political spectrum taking it up, because it starts being less of a partisan issue and more of an American issue, and I think that's super, super important. That's why I'm quite keen on what they're doing, because I'm interested in how they're trying to get into the white psychology and break up. You're
getting rinsed in the chat for spelling lesbian wrong.
Again, it's 1:00 in the morning here. It wasn't even my question. I don't even care. I'm sorry. We got there in the end. Google heard what I meant. Also,
so maybe she's not a lesbian then, but she's a woman. She's a woman. I know that.
Also, all that rant we just saw from Glinner about how great.
Yes.
I just thought that this was a really good point. You want to read it out? It'll be the last one.
Right. Love that JKR so cares about women that she wrote a book with a male protagonist, a male antagonist, a male best friend, a male mentor, a male nemesis, about 12 of the male mentors, and a female best friend who mainly does his homework for him. Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. So I thought, yeah, we can end on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. And it's like going on 1:30 in the morning. So we've been going for like 3.5 hours. You were yelling last time about how long this show was. So.
Oh, but it's okay for you to stay up. It's okay for you to stay up till God knows what hour, playing hours and hours of D&D.
Yeah, well, why do you think I'm tired?
Some
Because I was up till 4 in the morning playing. We just did 4 hours of battle. We started a fight, and it took us 3.5 hours to finish it. It was awesome. We had so much fun last night.
That's tragic. That's tragic. Kristi Mohammed Winters. What do you like?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Worst person in the world.
Yeah, you are, definitely. I mean, I would take Spencer Richardson over you any day. See, I purposely messed the name up. See, I made it a different name because that's not even really a person.
Nope.
Well, there probably is a person called that because there's a person called fucking everything. I didn't realize there were that many Kevin Logans in the world until I found Facebook. Fucking loads of us. We're everywhere. Anyway, there's a group called the Secret. Was it the Secret Society of Kevin Logans, which I'm a member of? So that's a thing. But it's really annoying because every single fucking day I see on my Twitter feed, it's Kevin Logan's birthday. No, it isn't. Oh, it's someone else. Okay.
Yes, it's more than
it
one
gets
Kevin
me
Logan.
every. Because I often, like, when I wake up, I'm still in bed. I don't get out of bed straight away because I'm a lazy bastard. And I get on my phone and it says Kevin Logan's birthday. In my adult state of sleepiness, I'm like, what? It's November. What are you talking about? My birthday's in May, Anyway. So that's, hopefully this was vaguely enjoyable. I don't know the fuck. I've forgotten how to speak, seemingly.
Words are still coming out of your head. Yeah.
Unfortunately so, yes. Hummels.
That's Hummels and figurines. Yes, don't ever forget. And I'm going to...
indeed. Well, talking of which, there's football's opening up again, so I feel like normality is resuming. The Spanish La Liga started this week.
Yeah.
The Blues are back in next weekend or whenever. But obviously, with no season, I can't go. With no spectators, I can't go to the game. But
at least you can sit and watch it in your house now.
Well, the Blues probably won't be on the TV because no one gives a fuck. We're not good enough to be watchable, frankly. So I'll probably listen to us on the radio and then watch whatever game that's deemed worthy of being on national TV, I suppose. Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to find that Schweinsteiger thing.
Please do, but if it's in German, it's not going to help me.
No, not much, but yeah, there it is. It just showed up live.
Have you got it on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Schweinsteiger.
Go back.
What's the E and the I backwards for?
I
What's
think
that?
to be Artie, maybe.
Okay, because the 7 makes sense because I think that's his number, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does Van? Oh, hang on. Van Affeng this legend. Well, legend is presumably legend.
Yeah.
But what is
from the start to a legend? So fun means from. Anfang means start. Bis means until, and then legenda, legend. Yeah. From the start to becoming a legend, basically.
Okay. I don't know that he became a legend.
Well, in Germany, he's probably a legend.
Good player.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he did win a World Cup. I'll let him off.
Oh,
but,
yeah. But you know what I have been laughing a lot at is this. A little bit of Knight Rider. Yeah.
That's, oh, no.
It's so bad. It's so bad it makes me laugh.
It is awful.
Oh, Michael, David Hasselhoff cannot act for shit. He's such a bad actor.
No, he's terrible. Yeah.
Like
did you ever watch fucking Baywatch?
No.
That was because Pamela Anderson can't act either. So that was just the 2 main people in that show.
Not acting.
Couldn't act. And the script was bad. the budget wasn't great, certainly initially. I don't know if it got any better. I didn't continue watching, and I just remember thinking, this is garbage. What is this doing on TV?
Yeah.
What?
Well, and then you're like, oh, boobs. That's why.
Do they have a show called Bosch?
No, you guys do.
This is how I met.
That's your
Do
show.
I?
That's a British show. Yeah, Bosch.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because that seems like Germany's being racist against itself. What?
No.
But apparently not.
No, this is
that's an English show, is it?
Yep. Subtitles in English, audio in English. Yeah, I think it's like a BBC thing, actually. It's got one of your actors
Is it?
in
Oh,
it.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I remember, so I was a little kid when Knight Rider was on. I was probably under the age of 10. It was about the same time when we had an Atari, like 26, like we could play Missile Control, or Command, I should say. And
Had they invented the moving picture?
yes.
Were the talkies out yet?
Stop interrupting me. I'm trying to wrap up the show.
No, you're not. You're telling a dumb story about fucking Knight Rider. That's not wrapping anything up.
But when so I don't really watch it. I prefer Dukes of Hazzard, but I know kids in our neighborhood who really like Knight Rider. And now I watch it, and I just think, if I was an adult watching this show like 35 years ago, would I go, this is totally shit? Or just people did not know any better? Like, was all TV so bad that Knight Rider looked good? I don't know. Have our tastes gotten better?
Well,
or...
apparently, it's Bosch. Bosch is set in LA, so apparently it's an American thing.
But that's a British actor, right? I mean, this guy is definitely a British actor. I thought.
Well, yeah, but have you ever seen House?
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm done. No, not like I'm
Okay.
really tired. I want to get off the air now. So, I need to buy this Murder Neuter. Anyway, I'll do that later.
But as we're talking about German TV and Hasselhoff, it would be remiss of us not to mention that it was David Hasselhoff who brought down the Berlin Wall.
Yes,
So,
he did. I'm
checkmate.
talking about freedom.
Freedom. Yeah.
But much
I don't know the
nice
rest of the words
things
to that song.
Check this date. Okay.
What the fuck? I was not expecting this to come out.
I had this bookmarked the whole
Okay.
time for reference.
Okay, but why is this the Childish Gambino there as well now? What?
Because
I don't understand.
that's part of like just when everyone's dancing.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'm with you.
Yeah. Everyone's just dancing. So, yeah.
Elmo. See, Tucker Carlson's right. Elmo is anti-white racialisms.
He is, clearly. Because here he is, doing the dance. Bugs Bunny even gets in on it. All right. You about to lose your
Well, you know the old thing
J.O.B..
about, was it anti-racism is code word for anti-white? Sesame Street is code word for anti-white.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yes.
Great. Good to know.
As the CEO of Antifa, Sesame
declared.
Street for so long. Sesame Street, like, we might as well, now we've been outed by Tucker Carlson, we might as well just say, yeah, it's been anti-white propaganda
For the
for
last-
decades. Big Bird is actually symbolism of the KKK. So don't know what that means.
No,
Doesn't
me
need to
neither.
mean anything. Yeah, fuck it. Hopefully I don't get sued by the fucking Sesame Street company.
Hopefully not.
Anyway. Although that would be funny. That would actually, yeah, fuck it, sue me. That'd be hilarious.
Cancel
Anyway.
culture.
Exactly, yeah. I can pull a Dankula and build a fucking career out of just being called out for saying a horrible thing, like Big Bird is the KKK. And on that big furry bombshell.
Yes, quite.
Yes. Thank you to everyone and stuff. Goodbye from me, and say goodbye, Sleepy Kristi.
Goodbye, Sleepy Kristi.
See, I didn't do it in that silly voice. She
Hummels.
made a mockery of the bit.
Matt.